Chapter 549. The best arrangement would be for Yang Mu to win and Yang Feng to lose to Fang Ping. This way, Fang Ping could enter the competition as the winner. As for Yang Mu, as long as no one challenged him, he could enter the competition as the winner. However, He did not seem to have the intention of letting Fang Ping lose to Yang Mu. Perhaps it was because time was of the essence, or he did not have time to say it. Central area. Yang Mu looked at Fang Ping and said seriously, "General Fang, I've been wanting to spar with you for a long time. Next, don't hold back." Fang Ping nodded, holding the chaos-vanquishing saber in his hand. At this moment, Yang Mu roared. Yang Mu, who also used a saber, slashed at Fang Ping, his vitality erupting to the extreme. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. He also slashed with his saber. His body moved, and as he slashed, he instantly appeared above Yang Mu's head. After all, Yang Mu was a peak rank 6 powerhouse. His strength was not weak, and his figure was like lightning. Both of their figures crossed each other in the air. This time, Fang Ping did not use his mentality. After exchanging dozens of moves in a row, the two of them were evenly matched. Yang Mu did not intend to end the battle quickly. He kept fighting with Fang Ping, and the battle dragged on. Fang Ping seemed to understand something. He did not quite understand. Yang Mu was draining his vitality. He could already feel that Yang Mu did not intend to fight with his life on the line, nor did he intend to kill him. However, he did not intend to lose to him quickly either. He was just dragging it out. He was dragging it out. He's draining my vitality. Is he waiting for me to run out of vitality? My injuries seem to be very serious earlier, and my recovery speed is getting slower and slower. Could it be? Thinking of this, Fang Ping increased the speed of his vitality consumption. He wanted to confirm it. For the last time, although he had already made up his mind, He's sudden promise to help him overcome a difficult situation had shaken Fang Ping. Now, Fang Ping was sure that it did not seem like kindness. After all, the Yang family has protected mankind for countless years. If he really wants to form a good relationship with me, then forget about it. But if he isn't, thinking of this, Fang Ping moved quickly, looking for an opportunity to recover his vitality. The speed was very slow, as if his mentality was injured and could not recover quickly. Yang Mu did not seem to mind, nor did he stop. The two of them continued to fight. The peak rank 6 Yang Mu fought Fang Ping in the form of sparring. His attacks were not vicious. In the crowd, Minister Wang and the others watched for a while, without saying anything. Although they felt that it would be best for the battle to end, Yang Mu seemed to be eager to learn from his prey, and they had nothing to say if he wanted to spar with him for a little longer. Su Haoran glanced at Yang He again. He frowned slightly, but didn't say anything. This time, the battle lasted for a long time. Even if Yang Mu was exhausted, he still had no intention of stopping. After all, Fang Ping's vitality force was only at middle stage rank 6, although it was much stronger than middle stage rank 6. However, Yang Mu didn't go all out. He didn't bat an eyelid and continued to spar. The two of them were truly exchanging pointers, but it dragged on for too long. It was so long that some of the martial artists from the various countries were impatiently scolding, "Is there any meaning to it? That's not how you play around, even if you want to get a recommendation. If there are more people, they will still have to fight." Someone cursed out loud. In the eyes of the crowd, Fang Ping and Yang Mu's duel was to ensure that Fang Ping would be selected. Others could do the same. But in the end, when there were more people who qualified, even if they ran out of opportunities, they might be challenged or even killed. If that was the case, it was better to take the initiative and kill the opponent first. The two of them fought for more than half an hour. Fang Ping recovered his vitality a few times, and so did Yang Mu. He even consumed some life essence. The others did not feel it, but Fong Ping and the Grandmasters did. Minister Wang couldn't help but say, "Patriarch Yang, it's about time." Even if it was really a spar, it was too much to consume life essence to recover at this point. Yang He frowned. This kid has always been a martial arts fanatic. Now that he's excited, he doesn't know his limits. At this moment, Fong Ping's face was as white as a sheet. Fortunately, at this moment, Yang Mu also couldn't take it anymore. He stopped immediately and panted. "General Fong is really powerful." Yang Mu admits defeat. Although the rules did not allow them to admit defeat, the two of them were familiar with each other and accepted each other, so there was no problem. Fong Ping frowned again. He glanced at Yang Feng, not far away from him. Yang Mu had delayed him for a long time. Now, he looked like he was enjoying the spar and had completely forgotten his goal. He could not say anything. However, Fong Ping made a judgment in his heart. He murmured in his heart, 3, 2, 1. He had just finished counting when in the next moment, Yang Feng jumped out with a face full of joy and said, "General Fong, I've always wanted to spar with you. Why don't we take this opportunity to have a spar as well?" At this moment, Fong Ping's vitality had not fully recovered. At this moment, Fong Ping's pupils shrank. F***CK. He had guessed it right. He found it strange. The Yang family's attitude changed too quickly. It was true. As if following Fong Ping's train of thought, Yang Feng said, "However, my strength is similar to Yang Mu's. I'm afraid I'm not General Fong's opponent. I'll give it my all next. I hope General Fong won't be stingy with your guidance." In the eyes of outsiders, the two Yang brothers had each used up a chance to guarantee Fong Ping's entry. That was a favor. After all, although Fong Ping was strong, he still had to prevent other powerhouses from challenging him again. Yang Feng's strength was not as good as Fong Ping's. Excited by the prospect, he gave it his all. No problem. He was not Fong Ping's opponent. However, once he used too much, he did not expect Fong Ping to be so weak. If he killed Fong Ping, accidents were everywhere. Fong Ping had just defeated Yang Mu. As for the so-called heavy injury, it was only mental trauma. His vitality was still there, was it not? If he killed Fong Ping by accident, would Li Changsheng break the rules and attack Yang Feng? If he died, then he was really dead. Why do they want to kill me? Fong Ping did not understand. He was not an idiot. How could he not guess their purpose? Those grandmasters and foreign grandmasters did not know the inside story. Even if these domestic grandmasters had some doubts now, at present, the Yang family was indeed helping Fong Ping. No one could say anything wrong. There's no benefit in killing me, right? What can they get by killing me? Other than MCMAU's hostility, there's no benefit. Fong Ping thought. Could it be that after killing him, they wanted to take away his chaos-vanquishing saber or the rank 9 inner armor? In a competition, killing an opponent could take away the spoils of war. Of course, the people present had high standards. The chaos-vanquishing saber was only an A-class alloy. Not many people cared about this thing. As for the rank 9 inner armor, this was not bad. However, killing him and offending MCMAU just for a rank 9 inner armor, could it not be justified? Fong Ping was still thinking. Yang Feng's face was full of eagerness. He could not suppress his excitement, and said with a smile, "General Fong, can we start?" Fong Ping frowned again. He still did not understand. Why was the Yang family so eager to kill him? Even if they hated him, they did not need to kill him now, right? Or did he guess wrongly? Was it because they cherished their lives so much that everyone looked like a bastard who wanted to kill him? Fine, we'll know when we see it. This guy wants to kill me in one blow without giving me a chance to react. Then I'll have to see his trump card. Thinking of this, Fong Ping nodded and said, We can start. General Fong, then let's finish this quickly. Don't waste too much time. Yang Feng's face was polite, and his words were pleasant. However, in the next moment, Fong Ping's expression changed. What a familiar opening move. At this moment, Yang Feng, who was opposite, sprayed a lot of blood in the air. In the blink of an eye, a kill word materialized in the void. It was not the suppress word, but the kill word. Yang He, Su Haoran muttered in a low voice. Yang He did not bat an eyelid. He smiled and said, "This kid is really reckless, but Fong Ping's strength is extremely strong. Although he's injured, it won't be a problem for him to take on this move." Su Haoran glanced at the somewhat dazed Minister Wang, then at Li Changsheng, who had been silent all this while. He sighed in his heart and did not speak again. After all, the Yang family was a family in Star Town. Not far away, Li Deyong's expression changed. Kill word, the original combat technique created by a paragon. If one did not reach a high rank, using this kind of combat technique during a battle was suicidal. Unless, just as Li Deyong thought of this, Yang Feng suddenly sprayed a mouthful of golden blood. It was completely golden. Bastard! Li Deyong was furious. He raised his hand to stop him. At this moment, a rank 9 from abroad, who was standing next to him, glanced at him. Although he did not speak, his meaning was clear. Both sides had just started fighting, and Fong Ping did not show any signs of being unable to fight anymore. If he interfered, that would be breaking the rules. Li Deyong was furious. He looked at Yang He, who seemed to be completely unaware of what was going on. What was the Yang family trying to do? Yang He did not look at him. Yang He only wanted to say that since the Paragon had set the rules, then they should follow the rules. Kill Fong Ping. Fong Ping would be the Yang family's spoils of war. Even if he wanted Fong Ping's corpse, even if he would be criticized by others, even if MCMAU would fly into a rage, even if the government would be dissatisfied. But if he died, the spoils of war would be theirs. This was the rule. Yang He's eyes revealed a hint of ruthlessness. This time, he would definitely offend some people. However, logic was on his side, and the rules supported his actions. This was also the only chance for him to kill Fong Ping and take away his corpse in a fair and square manner. There was no reason for a rank 9 to interfere. If Li Changsheng dared to interfere, that would be breaking the rules, breaking the global Paragon's rules. No matter how angry Li Deyong was, he had to stop Li Changsheng from interfering. So what if MCMAU was dissatisfied? If he got his hands on the elder ancestors' relics, there was hope for him to step into the Paragon. As long as he returned to Star Town, even if the other families were dissatisfied, what could they do? Could they just watch the MCMAU people rush into Star Town and behave atrociously? Dead geniuses were worthless. At most, only a few people from MCMAU would be angry. When he became a Paragon, everyone would forget about Fong Ping. A mere rank 6, a rank 6 with no future. Who would go against a Paragon for him? The storage ring should be in Fong Ping's hands. Putting himself in Fong Ping's shoes, who would be stupid enough to give such an important thing to others? Martial artists were incomparably powerful. If Jiang Chao could swallow the mentality prohibition jewelry, Fong Ping could naturally do it too. After Yang Feng killed Fong Ping, he would take Fong Ping's corpse, even if he had to shed all pretense of cordiality. Of course, if Yang Feng could find the storage ring, then the corpse would not be needed. Leaving it to MCMAU would be an accident. However, Yang He speculated that Yang Feng would probably not be able to find it. He had already scanned Fong Ping for a long time. The storage ring was not on him, so the biggest possibility was that it was still hidden in his body. Fong Ping, Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong, Yang He repeated the names of these 3 people in his heart. If Fong Ping did not have it, then the probability of these two having it was not small. If they shed all pretense of cordiality, Yang Mu and Wang Jinyang would challenge them in the next round. Although these two were also very strong, there would always be opportunities. How could the children of the big families in Star Town not have any tricks up their sleeves? Just when he was thinking about collecting the corpse, just when Li Daong was extremely annoyed. The kill character in front of Yang Feng was becoming more and more dazzling. Yang Feng, on the other hand, looked vigilant and confused. Why was Fang Ping not moving? He thought that Fang Ping would interrupt him, but he was prepared. Even if Fang Ping interrupted him, it would be useless. However, the calmer Fang Ping was, the more worried he was. Fang Ping glanced at him and did not interrupt him. He only asked curiously, "Why? Really? I can't figure it out." Yang Feng's heart trembled as he continued to carve the kill character. He smiled and said, "What do you mean, General Fang?" The longer he dragged it out, the more complete his carving would be, and the more powerful it would be. Since Fang Ping wanted to drag it out, he did not mind dragging it out for a while. Fang Ping smiled. "You know what I mean. Why do you want to kill me?" "Ha ha ha. General Fang must be joking. It's just a competition. General Fang is so strong. How could you? Forget it. I know what you mean." Fang Ping glanced at Yang, he in the distance, and sighed softly. "At that moment, I was really shaken. But you are bent on killing me. Then I won't go easy on you." And at this moment, the kill character that Yang Feng condensed was completely formed. General Fang. Yang Feng's eyes revealed a hint of joy. The kill character broke through the air instantly, and Fang Ping, whose vitality was previously exhausted, instantly recovered to its peak. Even so, Fang Ping's expression was still solemn. The kill character exploded with an incomparably strong, murderous aura, charging straight at him. At this moment, in Fang Ping's eyes, it was no longer a character, but a person, an incomparably strong powerhouse, charging at him with an incomparably strong, murderous intent. Fang Ping's eyes flickered, and the chaos-vanquishing saber slashed out instantly. Boom! The saber slashed out, and the saber glow collapsed instantly. In the distance, Li Changxing's aura locked onto Yang Feng. Even further away, Li Daong frowned, staring at Li Changxing. "You want to kill him?" Old man Li's voice was incomparably cold. Yang He immediately frowned and said, "Yang Feng thinks too highly of Fang Ping. The Yang family has good intentions. Dean Li, don't misunderstand. You're courting death." Old man Li's expression was cold. In the central area, Fang Ping consecutively slashed more than 10 times, but every time the saber glow neared, it was instantly shattered. The power of this kill character was beyond imagination. Based on this trend, even if Fang Ping's vitality recovered to its peak, he could still be killed. Yang He said without batting an eyelid, "Fang Ping should be fine if he takes this move." As he spoke, the kill character had already caught up to Fang Ping. Fang Ping slashed again. Creak, an ear-piercing sound of metal scraping against metal rang out. In an instant, a small nick appeared on Fang Ping's chaos-vanquishing saber. This time, many people's expressions changed slightly. The Grandmasters, on the other hand, were not too surprised. The moment Yang Feng attacked, just now, they knew that this kid had the intention to kill. And Fang Ping was too stupid, giving the other party time. That mouthful of golden blood was one of the Peerless Peak's descendants' life-saving methods, a true life-saving ultimate move. If Fang Ping did not give Yang Feng time and interrupted it early, it would not have produced such a powerful force. "You really want to kill me?" At this moment, as Fang Ping fled at high speed, he still had time to say something. Seeing that his vitality had recovered to its peak, Yang Feng's eyes flickered, and he said in a clear voice, "How could it be? Do you really think everyone is blind?" Your Yang family is good. I thought that you helped me because I returned the divine weapon and the remains. I didn't expect you to bite the hand that fed you and actually want to kill me, your benefactor." As Fong Ping spoke, the kill character approached, shredding his clothes, twisting his rank 9 leather armor to the point that it began to tremble, twisting Fong Ping's arms and legs to a bloody mess. "I've always been tolerant, thinking that you would be immersed in grief and realize your mistakes sooner or later. I didn't expect you guys to go even further and actually plot against me." Chapter 550. If that's the case, then don't blame me for ignoring the bigger picture. Fong Ping was willing to look at the big picture and pretend to be injured in order to secretly kill that hidden mentality-vitality fusion expert from the Hall of Gods. "I didn't expect you to force me to reveal my true strength." How detestable. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping let out a roar. A complete city suddenly appeared in front of him. Once the small city appeared, the blood sun instantly descended, and in the blink of an eye, it turned into a huge blood saber. The bloody blade wasn't aimed at the kill word, but shot out violently towards Yang Feng in an instant. Yang Feng's face changed when he saw this, and he hurriedly retreated. At this moment, Fong Ping roared again. Dozens of crimson sabers appeared in the void. These blood blades gathered together and pierced through the void, appearing in front of Yang Feng in the blink of an eye. Yang Feng's complexion changed dramatically. In the next moment, Yang Feng wanted to leave the area and even wanted to pretend to be seriously injured and unable to fight again. However, Fong Ping did not give him the time to do so. Dozens of crimson sabers pierced through his skull almost as soon as they landed. There was no wound on Yang Feng's head, but his eyes dimmed for a moment, and then his aura of life disappeared without a trace. Fong Ping let out a cold humph. The golden kill character in front of him began to dissipate. Not far away, Yang He was instantly enraged. He roared, "Fong Ping, my Yang family was sincere to you, yet you actually killed Yang Feng." Fong Ping did not look at him. Instead, he glanced at the equally enraged Yang Mu. A ferocious smile appeared in his eyes. Yang Mu's body stiffened, and he couldn't help but take a step back. Yang He's eyes were also extremely cold. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly shouted, "Logically speaking, it's time to challenge upper stage rank 6. Now I want to challenge you. Everyone, give up. Otherwise, I will challenge you. Does anyone have any objections?" The entire place was silent. The scene just now was beyond everyone's expectations. Yang Feng's sudden killing move and Fong Ping's instantaneous counterattack were both extremely surprising. The foreign martial artists all fell silent, their eyes even revealing a playful look. Internal strife. Interesting. Someone from Hall of Gods' side immediately shouted, "All high-level players forfeit their challenge." Seconded. Needless to say, all the families gave up. Li Diyong's expression changed again and again. He said, "Fong Ping, Commander, someone wants to kill me." Of course, once you're in the arena, you can't blame anyone if you get killed. Now that all the upper stage rank SIXS in Sino Nation have given up on challenging, does anyone want to make a move? In the crowd, Jiang Chao and the others looked at each other and shook their heads. They wouldn't get involved. Su Haoran frowned. "Fong Ping, High Grandmaster Su, is there anything that Fong Ping, can't do to offend Star City? Sai, is it true that I saved 2 level 8 experts? The Yang family bullied me like this. If you want to kill me, then just kill me. A martial artist must take revenge and repay kindness. According to the rules, I challenged Yang Mu. Did I violate any rules?" Fong Ping's voice was as loud as a bell. His gaze landed on Yang Mu, and he shouted, "Yang Mu, go up!" Yang Mu's face was filled with fear. Previously, When Fong Ping's mentality had collapsed, he had mainly been draining Fong Ping's vitality. It was only because his life was not in danger that he dared to enter the arena. But now, Fong Ping's murderous aura was awe-inspiring. It was obvious that he wanted to kill him. How would he dare to go forward and die? When Fong Ping tried to kill him, he did not have time to pretend to be heavily injured and powerless. Unless he hurt himself now. But everyone was looking at him. If he hurt himself to the point where he could no longer fight, he could forget about raising his head for the rest of his life. Yang Mu suddenly thought of something and looked at Yang He hurriedly. Yang He's expression was dark. He said coldly, "Fong Ping, I've said it before. Everything before was an accident. You've already killed Yang Feng. Everything ends here." The Yang family only sent these two people to participate in the competition. Yang Feng's death was also beyond his expectations. If Yang Mu was killed as well, then the Yang family would be completely done for in this competition, without a newly born grandmaster. And without being able to kill Fong Ping, they would suffer heavy losses today. "Yang Mu, come out. Otherwise, hurt yourself, and I'll spare your worthless life." "Second Grandpa, Fong Ping." Yang He's expression was extremely ugly. He repeated, "I've said it before. It was an accident. If I kill Yang Mu, it's also an accident." Fong Ping retorted. Beside him, Su Haoran spoke again. "Fong Ping, Star City doesn't want to get involved in this, but the Yang family is from Star City after all, so only the people from Star City can kill me?" Fong Ping's eyes were cold. He looked at Li Daong, who was not far away, and said, "Commander Li, Sino Nation, is this how they treat me?" Li Daong's expression changed again, and again. He suddenly shouted, "Yang Mu, go up!" Fong Ping's expression softened slightly. Yang He said, angrily, "Li Daong, the Yang family has protected mankind for hundreds of years. Today, a little kid humiliates us like this. How dare you? Everything has its own rules." Li Daong was also extremely annoyed. He said coldly, "These are the rules set by the world's top powerhouses. Then we must follow the rules." The Yang family and Fong Ping's actions had completely messed up Sino Nation's arrangements. Li Daong was also so angry that he was about to explode. Sino Nation had actually caused such a commotion in front of the other 5 major forces. How would others view Sino Nation now? Yang He said coldly, "No matter how strict the rules are, as long as Fong Ping gives up the challenge, he will naturally not violate them. The Yang family has contributed for hundreds of years. Can't we even protect a rank? 6? Everyone looked at Fong Ping. Fong Ping insisted, "Go up." "Fong Ping." Yang He's tone was icy cold. He said angrily, "Don't force me." At this moment, Yang He's anger had reached its peak. "If you force me, I will kill you." Would Sino Nation let a rank 8 like me pay for a rank SXS life? At most, I will snatch Fong Ping's corpse and return to Star Town. At this moment, Yang He was hysterical and crazy. The more he said that, the more Fong Ping felt that he needed to force him. He insisted, "Go up." "Fong Ping." Yang He's emotions were fluctuating wildly. Beside him, Su Haoran saw this and was slightly worried. He quickly looked at Fong Ping and said, "Fong Ping, as a Sino Nation martial artist, the youth competition is still going on. As the leader of Sino Nation's youth martial artists, are you really going to let outsiders see you as a joke?" Fong Ping thought for a while and nodded. "What Grandmaster Su said makes sense. I, Fong Ping, am not that kind of person. If that's the case, then Grandmaster Yang, please swear that if anyone from the Yang family dares to attack me again, the entire Yang family will be destroyed, be *starred. Yang He was instantly furious. He roared, "Little kid, how dare you bully me?" Fong Ping said with a cold expression, "Grandmaster Su saw it. Grandmaster Yang is determined to kill me. If Grandmaster Su can guarantee that the Yang family will not make things difficult for me in the future, I, Fong Ping, will not let outsiders see me as a joke. However, a rank 8 martial artist is so hostile toward me. Grandmaster Su, am I supposed to sit and wait for death? Yang he was just angry in the moment. Fong Ping said in a muffled voice, Grandmaster Su, please give me a guarantee that the Yang family will not attack me, or the government can give me a guarantee that I, Fong Ping, will not pursue this matter today. I don't have the guts to pursue this matter. After saying this, Li Daong looked at Yang He and said coldly, Yang He, what are you trying to do? Today we are all here. Justice is in the hearts of the people. The reason why Sino Nation's martial arts can last for so long is because everyone is united. Today, say whatever you want to say. Otherwise, if you incite Yang Feng to attack Fong Ping for no reason, don't blame me for suppressing you. Li Daong. Yang, he was instantly furious. He said in a sorrowful tone, You want me to give an explanation to a little kid? You want me to give him a promise? The Yang family has guarded the passageway for Sino Nation for hundreds of years. Now that elder ancestor has fallen and Big Brother has died in battle, Senior Yang's death will be judged by the public. Li Daong said in a low voice, Some things can't be blamed on anyone. Yang Daohong went to the bounded zones to search for the remains. The government also supported him greatly and did not blame him. We also hope that Yang Daohong can retrieve the remains of the senior. No one wants Yang Daohong to die in battle. However, since it has happened, we have to accept reality. Blindly blaming others is not the way of a martial artist. Yang he said coldly, So, I have to give this junior an explanation today. Li Daong took a deep breath. After a while, he said, Fine, go back to Star City. You are not allowed to leave Star City in the future. Today's matter ends here. You want to imprison me? Yang He's eyes were cold and fierce. Just because the Yang family is in dire straits, you want to imprison me? Li Daong, you don't have the right. Li Daong's eyes suddenly turned sharp. He said, I represent the military department and the Sino Nation government. Yang He, are you really going to disobey? Yang He looked at him, then at Su Haoran, and finally at Fong Ping. He suddenly laughed. I only have one question. That day, was it really Qin Fengqing who went into the bounded zones alone? Fong Ping's heart stirred. He knew that Li Hansong had gone into. Fong Ping was about to speak when Yang He, who had been staring at him, suddenly laughed. I know. He was sure. Just now, he had been paying attention to Fong Ping, paying attention to his every move and all his emotional fluctuations. In that instant, he knew. Sure enough, Qin Fengqing did not go in alone. Everything was as he had guessed. Before this, it was just a guess. Now it was the truth. Now, because of such a small matter, the military department actually wanted him to not take a step out of Star City. Yang He looked around again and chuckled. As expected, without the elder ancestor, all of you have changed. No one is speaking up for the Yang family. After guarding for hundreds of years, the tea cools down when the person is gone. How sad is this? Today it's the Yang family. Who will it be the next day? The Su family? The Zheng family? Or the Li family? Ha! Yang He threw his head back and laughed, full of grief and indignation. Without the venerable ancestor holding the fort, he could not even afford to provoke a rank 6. If the elder ancestor was still alive, would these people dare to treat him like this? Absolute peak. At this moment, this was the only thought in Yang He's mind. He wanted to become the absolute peak. If he did not become the absolute peak, the Yang family would be completely gone. And the hope of becoming the absolute peak was only Fong Ping. If I leave today, the military department won't allow me to leave the city. How can I seize the elder ancestor's relics? Since I'm destined to be confined, why don't I kill him, take his body, and escape back to Star City? Will they really make me pay with my life? In the end, it'll still be confined, and the same outcome. At this moment, thoughts emerged in Yang He's mind. However, Li Daong was here now. How could he kill Fang Ping? It was as if the heavens were helping him. At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly took a few steps and left Li Daong. As Fang Ping walked, his heart was beating wildly. He felt danger. It was too intense. It was so intense that he felt like he would die in the next second. From the corner of his eyes, he looked at old man Li, who had been silent all this while. Fang Ping wailed in his heart. Can this old man do it? If I die, even if you kill him, it'll be over. I don't dare to gamble anymore. Fang Ping really did not dare to gamble anymore. He was afraid that old man Li would not be able to save him in time. Yang He seemed to have gone crazy. This old man's vision was too terrifying. He might really attack him. Should I go back to Commander Li's side? Rank 9 is safe enough. There's no need to gamble now. This guy can't kill me today. Since the military department has spoken, Star City will definitely not let him out. Fang Ping felt that the military department had some restraints on these martial artists. They should be able to keep their word. At the thought of this, Fang Ping hurriedly walked toward Li Daong's side. His own safety was still the most important. Old man Li often bragged. He dared not believe him completely. At this moment, a ruthless glint flashed in Yang He's eyes. Whether he killed him or not, the result would be the same. If that was the case, then he would kill this annoying brat. At most, he would return to Star City and go into closed-door cultivation. After making up his mind, Yang He did not hesitate anymore. Suddenly, he threw a punch at Fang Ping. Damn it! Li Daong reacted instantly. He was furious to the extreme. Crazy! Yang He actually dared to kill someone in front of him. This was practically provoking the government, provoking the military department. With a curse, Li Daong hurriedly attacked. However, someone else attacked faster than him. At this moment, in the midst of everyone's shock, Li Changsheng, who had been silent all this while, suddenly exploded. At this moment, an earth-shattering sword glow penetrated the seal set up by the rank 9. The sword aura pierced through the sky directly. The sky-piercing sword glow sent chills down everyone's spine in Capital City. Su Haoran roared. No! But it was too late. From the beginning until now, old man Li had not uttered a word. He had been holding it in, holding it in. At this moment, he finally unleashed his power. Boom! With a loud bang, the surrounding seal barrier shattered instantly. Some of the rank 9 powerhouses present turned pale, one after another. Li Daong's movements were also sluggish. At this moment, the invisible sword in old man Li's hand had already slashed down. In the void, an imperceptible black crack appeared instantly. This shatter, a rank! 9 lost his voice in shock. How was this possible? MCMU, Li Changsheng could not possibly be this powerful. Moreover, for the sake of a rank 6, he unleashed an unimaginable power with one slash. Did he not want to live anymore? Everyone was stunned. Even Li Daong, who was close at hand, did not manage to block it in time, because the barrier shattered instantly. His movements were sluggish. The void trembled. In the next moment, Yang He, who had just thrown a punch, revealed a dazed look in his eyes. He was dazed for a moment without any reaction. Then, like a porcelain doll, Yang He shattered into countless pieces in an instant. Golden body obliterated. Old man Li's face turned pale. He aged instantly, his spirit heavy. The invisible sword in his hand disappeared. In a low voice, he said, "Motherf Asterisker, I've held it in for a whole day." Everyone was silent. Even though the battle stage had fallen, no one paid any attention to it right now. Su Haoran's face was full of shock. His heart was palpitating. Similarly, his face was full of confusion. Chapter 5:51. Swordsman Longevity Breaks Longevity. Li Changshin killed the rank 8 powerhouse Yang, he with 1 slash. Someone in the crowd murmured this sentence softly. In the past, Swordsman Longevity broke his own path to longevity. The trip to Nanjiang broke a rank 8's path to longevity. After the unification of 10,000 paths, he broke his own path to longevity again. Some people understood Li Changshin, some did not, but Swordsman Longevity still had some prestige. Today, in front of many rank 9s, Li Changshin slashed a rank 8 with 1 slash, shocking the world. Void-piercing swordsmanship. Someone muttered again, recognizing the sword technique used by Li Changshin. It was the ultimate technique of the ultimate powerhouse, Netherworld King Li Jun. Rank 9 longevity sword, the ultimate technique of the ultimate technique, combined with the accumulated power of 10,000 paths as one powerhouse, the sword shattered the void. That slash just now was shocking. Even a rank 9 powerhouse might not be killed by 1 slash, but facing that slash, they would definitely be severely injured. After the shock, the foreign grandmasters revealed expressions of anticipation. This time, there was a show to watch. The domestic grandmasters, on the other hand, were shocked by Li Changshin's strength and his boldness. He actually killed Yang. A rank 8 powerhouse, was the backbone of the martial arts world. Even if Yang He attacked Fang Ping, even if Yang He made a mistake, the government did not ignore it. The military department had already ordered Yang He not to leave Star Town. Under such circumstances, Li Changshin's slash just now could stop Yang He, but not necessarily kill him. Now, Li Changshin directly killed him. If he did not die, even if the other party was severely injured, the government and the military department would speak up for Li Changshin. The Yang family made a mistake first. However, he was dead. No matter what, they must give Star Town and the Yang family an explanation. Just as Li Deyong's expression changed again and again, in the crowd, the stunned Yang Mu suddenly came to his senses. The next moment, Yang Mu knelt on the ground with a thud. He was not begging for mercy. Elder ancestor, Grandpa, the Yang family is annihilated. Yang Mu's tears streamed down his cheeks, crying out in sorrow. Even if second Grandpa is wrong, his sin does not warrant death. Elder ancestor protected mankind for hundreds of years. The Yang family fought for mankind, for Sino Nation for hundreds of years, and suffered countless casualties. 3 generations and above all died in the catacombs. Does my Yang family deserve to be exterminated? Second Grandpa has spent his whole life fighting in the restricted area. He doesn't understand the ways of the world. Even if he's guilty, it's not MCMAU's turn to kill him. Bang, bang, bang. Yang Mu suddenly kowtowed toward the center capital city. The rank 6 powerhouse kowtowed until his head was bleeding. Tears of blood dripped from his eyes as he cried, "Pluto King, Martial King, Yang Mu refuses to accept this. The Yang clan will not accept this. In this world, is there no one who will speak up for my Yang family?" Yang Mu kowtowed until his head was bleeding. His sorrowful voice spread throughout the Martial Arts Association. Li Deyong's expression changed again. A touch of sadness appeared on Su Haoran's face. The fox grieves when the rabbit dies. Even if the Yang family was in the wrong first, even if Yang He insisted on killing Fang Ping was fine now. Instead, a rank 8 and a peak rank 6 from the Yang family had died here. He was from Star Town and was also the person in charge of Star Town. But now, Yang He had been killed right in front of him. The Yang family disciples no longer begged him to make a decision. Instead, they knelt and begged the two peak experts to make a decision. Su Howard felt a little upset in his heart. The people from Suppressing Star City and the other participants were also upset. Someone could not help but whisper, even if Grandpa Yang, he shouldn't have been killed just like that. Sympathizing with the weak was everyone's mentality. The Yang family's experience was too miserable. Peak experts, rank 9, rank 8, rank 7, fell one after another. Yang Qing was the only rank 7 powerhouse left in such a huge family. There were 13 families in Star Town. The Yang family had truly declined this time. Fong Ping was an outsider. After all, they had been with the Yang family for many years. Even Jiang Chao felt extremely conflicted at this time. If Yang he had really killed Fong Ping, the people from Star Town would probably despise the Yang family. They bullied the weak and did not know the immensity of heaven and earth. They even dared to provoke so many enemies at this time. But Fong Ping did not die. The one who died was Yang He. In the arena, it was extremely quiet. No one spoke. Only Yang Mu's cries of blood and the sound of kowtowing could be heard continuously. He was begging the two peak experts to seek justice for him. He knew that the peak experts were also paying attention. At least one peak expert would be watching over Capital City at any time. With such a huge incident happening, the peak experts would definitely know. Just as everyone was in a dilemma, just as Li Daong did not know how to handle it, the incomparably old Li Changsheng, who had just slashed with his sword, suddenly smiled faintly and said, "Killing Yang He was just an accident. I didn't expect him to not even be able to withstand a single slash." Yang Mu suddenly stared at him with blood-red eyes. The others also frowned slightly. Making sarcastic remarks at this time would only increase the hostility of the people from Star Town. Li Changsheng was a little unwise. Old Man Li glanced at Su Howard, then at Li Daong. He smiled again and said, "The lives of MCMU people may not be as good as those in Star Town, but they are still valuable. Today, I killed Yang He with my sword. Whether it was right or wrong, I will pay with my life." As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned. Su Howard frowned slightly and said, "Li Changsheng, what's the point of crying and bragging about your own achievements? Although MCMU's strength is weak, we have also fought on the battlefield and dyed the foreign lands red. We have fought in the catacombs for the safety of our country and the peace of the world. Yang he wants to kill Fong Ping. What right does he have?" Li Changsheng's voice was like a great bell. At this moment, he was like an ancient demon god, his sword chi soaring to the sky. Who has the right to kill Fong Ping? In this world, there are only catacombs martial artists and evil sect martial artists. If he does not betray humanity, no one has the right to kill him. Although MCMU's strength is weak, we dare to draw our swords and fight. Today, I, Li Changsheng, killed Yang He with my sword. I am at fault, but not guilty. I will pay with my life. Boom. The sword chi soared into the sky, and a beam of sword chi shot out. In the next moment, Old Man Li instantly aged to the extreme. He sat on the ground with his legs crossed, and there was no sign of life. Everyone was stunned. Su Howard hurried forward to check. His face was full of shock and confusion, even a little dazed. Silence. Silence. His life was extinguished. Li Changsheng was dead. He was dead. Li Daong's expression was also extremely ugly. The anger in his heart was about to explode. Dead. Li Changsheng had extinguished himself. How was that possible? How was that possible? In one day, Sino Nation lost 2 top-notch powerhouses. They did not die in the catacombs, not on the battlefield, but on the ground, in the hands of their own people. Bastard! Li Daong was furious. Killing intent erupted from his body. Some of the weaker people around him retreated one after another, sweating profusely and terrified. Beside him, Fong Ping was indifferent. His face was full of sorrow. After a long time, Fong Ping stepped forward, walked to Li Chongsheng and suddenly knelt down, his eyes blood-red, saying, "You treated me like a son. In order to save me today, you only killed an enemy. How could you do this?" The Yang family thinks of themselves as meritorious, killing whoever they want. Do we not have any merit? We have also fought in the catacombs. Generation after generation of MCMAU instructors who did not fight for the country. In the past, you fought incessantly. You were attacked by a rank 9 and had a mental breakdown. In the Nanjiang Catacombs battle, you killed a rank 8 with a sword as a rank 6, turning the tide. For humanity, for Sino Nation, you gave up the path to the top, the path to longevity, and embarked on the path of unification of all paths. You only killed an enemy. So what? Although I, Fong Ping, am not talented, what right did Yang He have to kill me? What right did the Yang family have to plot against me? After saying that, Fong Ping turned around abruptly, looking at Yang Mu, saying with a murderous aura, "Yang Mu, today, my instructor did not die in the catacombs. He died because of the Yang family. His death was not worth it. Since you want revenge, come, you and I will fight, only life and death." Yang Mu's scalp went numb under his stare. The sorrow from earlier had long disappeared. He was also stunned. Li Chongsheng was dead. This was completely out of his expectations. Everything he did just now, on one hand, was true grief and indignation. On the other hand, it was also to gain sympathy and punish the MCMAU people. Another reason was to help the rest of the Yang family wash away all the bad reputation. It was true that Yang, he wanted to kill Fong Ping. It was true that Yang Fong wanted to kill Fong Ping. The Yang family's reputation was considered tarnished. Also, it was to save his life. MCMAU was so cruel that even second grandpa was killed. The competition was not over yet. If Fong Ping continued to challenge him, what should he do? The only way was to show weakness to gain sympathy and to arouse others' dissatisfaction with MCMAU. Everything was going according to his expectations. However, Li Chongsheng's actions overturned everything in an instant. He was a top-notch powerhouse who could slash a rank 8 with his sword. He had also made great contributions to the Sino Nation and killed countless powerhouses. However, now, because he killed a martial artist from Star Town who took the initiative to attack his own student, he had self-destructed. Yang Mu was stunned. Star Town's Su Haoran did not say a word, his face full of worry. This time, it was really troublesome. The Yang family's trouble was still a small matter. The Yang family was now in decline. The only promising Yang Qing was not allowed to leave the city in the future. However, on MCMAU's side, Yang He took the initiative to attack Fong Ping. After that, Li Chongsheng self-destructed. What did Minister Zhang think? What did MCMAU think? Wu Quishan was about to reach rank 9. The Guardian of the South, Wu Chuan, was also a rank 9 powerhouse. There were also a large number of powerhouses who had graduated from MCMAU, and MCMAU already had powerhouses. Should Li Chongsheng have killed Yang He? Yang He was dead, but Li Chongsheng was not. There would probably be people who would blame Li Chongsheng. However, both of them were dead. The main culprit was the Yang family. Even Star Town would be regarded as an enemy by all the martial artists from the outside world. Star Town would be meritorious, but the martial artists from the outside world would not. After fighting for 100 years, how many people had sacrificed their lives and buried their bones in foreign lands? Was it not for the sake of world peace? Now, even a hero like Fong Ping could lose his life at any time. Who would dare to fight in the future? who would still be willing to fight. If today's matter was not handled well, the unity of the people of Sino Nation for 100 years and the united effort to fight in the catacombs might be greatly affected. Therefore, at this moment, Su Haoran's head was as big as a cow's. The other grandmasters in Sino Nation also had complicated looks in their eyes. Many people looked at Su Haoran, at Yang Mu, at the other people in Star Town. There was dissatisfaction, anger, and annoyance. A good competition was ruined. A swordsmanship powerhouse like Li Changsheng could at least kill a rank 9 powerhouse. Dead. How could the people in Star Town be so unscrupulous? How could they be so domineering? Beside him, Fong Ping's murderous aura was soaring. He kept staring at Yang Mu. In his heart, however, he felt helpless. What was Old Man Li doing? Why did he have to do this? If things got out of hand, it would be hard to explain. If he pretended to be dead now, how could he show his face in the future? Then again, pretending to be dead could indeed gain sympathy. Otherwise, if Old Man Li had killed Yang, he directly, no matter what, Star Town would sympathize with the loss of a rabbit and would eventually be dissatisfied with MCMAU. Now, Li Changsheng had paid with his life. Everyone had nothing to say, right? As for rank 9s like Su Haoran, they were all sure that Old Man Li was dead. That was because Old Man Li was really dead. This matter, outsiders really did not understand. After all, there were only a few words about the unification of 10,000 paths in the ancient books, and Li Changsheng was the only martial artist who had the unification of 10,000 paths today. Martial artists, especially those who had reached the high ranks, were not considered dead as long as their mentality was not dead. The best way to confirm a martial artist's death was to confirm that the other party's mentality was dead. As for a certain someone under the unification of 10,000 paths, the essence, spirit, and soul were united. If his vitality was depleted, his mentality would also be depleted, falling into a state of nirvana. The old man's previous slash had already consumed a lot of vitality. After that, the sword aura soared to the sky, exhausting the last trace of vitality, and naturally, he was dead. This point, outsiders might not really think of it. It was not that they did not think of it, but it was generally known that mentality could not be recovered unless it was like Rose King, who had a heaven-defying divine fruit. The unification of 10,000 paths only referred to the unification of 10,000 paths. It did not introduce anything else. Thinking about it, Fong Ping still felt a little helpless. He did not plan to let Old Man Li pretend to be dead. The old man was addicted to acting. This was great. What should he do in the future? Just as Fong Ping was glaring at Yang Mu and thinking about what to do in the future, in the void, a figure slowly materialized. Sir Marshal King. At this moment, the foreign powerhouses bowed one after another, their faces full of respect. Over at Sino Nation's side, Li Daong was also full of worry. He felt a little guilty and helpless, saying gloomily, "Minister, Minister." The others greeted him one after another. Su Haoran was also extremely depressed. He bowed slightly and said, "Marshal King, today's matter, I already know." Zhang Tao's figure completely emerged. Before this, he really did not know, but when Li Changsheng slashed out with his sword, he knew everything. Juedong was too busy. He did not have time to pay special attention to some middle-ranked martial artists' competitions. Glancing at Yang Mu, Zhang Tao said slowly, "Yang Mu, Yang Feng attacked Fong Ping first. Yang he ignored the rules, disregarded the law, and attacked Fong Ping. Now, Li Changsheng paid with his life. Is the Yang family satisfied with this explanation?" Yang Mu trembled with fear, speechless for a while. Zhang Tao looked at him for a while, then looked at Su Haoran and said, "Is Star Town satisfied?" Su Howard said with a bitter expression. Marshal King, this is not Startown's intention. Startown and MCMAU have a friendly relationship. Previously, Li Fei and the others even went to MCMAU to study. Last time, we also invited Fang Ping and the others to Startown. Yang He's matter is only an individual's action. He does not represent the Yang family, much less Startown. At this point, he could only completely disregard Yang He. Otherwise, if he left this knot in his heart, it would be troublesome in the future. The government could lead Sino Nation, but it did not really bow down to Startown. Nether King Li Zhan, Marshal King Zhang Tao, Eastern Guardian Chen Gaiang, Northern Guardian Shun Haotian, Li family's elder ancestor. Although most of these people came from Startown, it did not mean that they only cared about Startown. As for the other elders, some of them did not care about worldly affairs, but some of them did not really care about Startown. Moreover, this was only the Yang family's matter. If this matter really caused a huge commotion, then it would be really troublesome. Zhang Tao said slowly, if that's the case, Yang He and Yang Feng are dead. The assassination of Fang Ping ends here. Li Changxing's death and Yang He's death also ends here. Yang Mu, Fang Ping, do the two of you have any objections? Fang Ping was about to speak when Zhang Tao suddenly looked at him. The look in his eyes was a little strange and frightening. He said lightly, Fang Ping, you're known as the leader of the youth martial arts. You should think before you act. Martial artists don't need to serve the public wholeheartedly, but they need to have a clear conscience. Although Li Changxing is dead, a few days ago, I went on a trip to the Forbidden Sea and obtained a divine reversal fruit. If MCMAU is willing to pay the price of 5 divine weapons and killing 10 catacombs high ranks, I will give you the divine reversal fruit to save his life, since Li Changxing has already been nirvana once. Now that humans need powerhouses to guard the catacombs, I will give you the divine reversal fruit to save his life. As soon as these words came out, the grandmasters both at home and abroad were shocked. Divine reversal fruit. It could save the life of a nirvana powerhouse. This was too scary. King Wu had actually gone to the Forbidden Sea and obtained such a heaven-defying fruit. This was too shocking. Su Howard was also shocked. Li Changxing could be saved. However, the price of 5 divine weapons and killing 10 catacombs high ranks was also extremely shocking. If it could really save Li Changxing, perhaps MCMAU would also be willing, right? As for Fang Ping, at this moment, he was so excited that it seemed like he was about to die. He was really going to die. Zhang Tao was setting him up. Old fox, old man, old bastard was setting him up. Damn you! He must have seen it. He must have seen it. He knew that old man, Li, was not dead. He said so much, but he only said one thing. If he still wanted Li Changxing to show his face in front of people, then he would have to pay 5 divine weapons and killing 10 catacombs high ranks in exchange for old man Li being able to walk outside openly in the future. In reality, he did not have to pay anything. Fang Ping was too excited, at least in the eyes of the others. He was so excited that he was trembling all over. Was Absolute Peak also setting people up? If you really have the ability to take out a divine reversal fruit, I will accept it. Now, I will not accept it. I will not accept it either. Zhang Tao was still looking at Fang Ping, continuing to look. Would he accept it or not? He was actually quite annoyed now. Things had escalated to this point. The Yang family was at fault. Fang Ping was also at fault. Absolute Peak was not a fool. If Fang Ping did not deliberately pretend to be injured, would it have triggered the Yang family's follow-up actions? If Li Changxing did not kill Yang He, since the military department had ordered him not to leave Star Town, then after today, Yang He would not leave Star Town anymore. This was set in stone. In order to prevent future trouble, Fong Ping directly asked Li Changsheng to kill the other party, almost causing a rift between the government and Star Town. If this matter was not handled properly, Sino Nation would suffer great losses. Both sides were at fault, but the Yang family was dead. Zhang Tao could not be bothered to say more. On Fong Ping's side, Li Changsheng had solved a big problem by pretending to be dead. However, Zhang Tao was not willing to let Fong Ping pass this easily. This bastard, even if he fought with the Yang family in private, he could not be bothered. What day was today? Where was he now? This was the International Youth Competition, also the focus of the world. Fong Ping and the Yang family's mess today was a disgrace to the whole of Sino Nation. Behind closed doors, it would be fine even if they beat their brains out. However, in front of outsiders, to this extent, he even had the heart to hack Fong Ping to death. Did Fong Ping not still have 3 divine weapons? This bastard, leaving them empty in his hands. He did not even mention to support the government, at least increase the government's strength. The boots that Li Changsheng was wearing were worn for nothing. What was the point of keeping them? As for killing high ranks, this was something that should be done. There would be many battles in the future. Previously in the Tian'an catacombs, Wu Quishan alone had killed many of them. There was no time limit, so it was not a big deal. What Zhang Tao wanted now was divine weapons. As for Fong Ping, his face was full of grief, indignation, sorrow, and grief. Beside him, Minister Wang said excitedly, "Fong Ping, quickly agree." From Minister Wang and the others' point of view, Zhang Tao was really thinking about MCMAU's contributions. Plus, they were family, so he was siding with MCMAU. He had even given out the heaven-defying divine fruit that could save the Nirvana powerhouse. As for divine weapons and killing enemies, to them, this was just to save some face. This was to avoid Star Town's dissatisfaction. After all, Li Changsheng could still be saved. It was almost equivalent to giving it away, for free. If they did not believe it, they could ask the people in Star Town. 5 divine weapons in exchange for a divine fruit. Would they do it? Divine weapons did not have a level limit. If 5 rank, 7 divine weapons could be exchanged for this heaven-defying divine fruit, Star Town would be able to gather a large number of divine weapons to exchange for it. Not only Star Town, but the grandmasters of other foreign forces also looked envious and expectant. No one thought that Zhang Tao would lie. What a joke! This was a top powerhouse, Lord Marshal King, Hades King Li Jun, Marshal King Zhang Tao. Even among the world's top powerhouses, they were the top-notch kind with unparalleled combat strength. It would not be easy for these big shots to go to a dangerous place like the Forbidden Sea to obtain the divine fruit. Yet they were only exchanged for 5 divine weapons. It was too easy for MCMAU's people. Some people calculated in their hearts that it might be related to Li Changsheng's sword earlier. That sword even touched the destruction of space. If such a powerhouse could be saved, it would add a powerful high-ranked combat strength to Sino Nation. Using this divine fruit to save Li Changsheng might be worth it. However, some people still felt that it was too extravagant. Li Changsheng's life was not long. Saving him, was it not a waste? It was still Sino Nation's top benevolence. At this moment, in their eyes, Zhang Tao was simply the incarnation of a kind person. As for Fong Ping, the corner of his mouth trembled. After a while, he said in a somewhat happy manner, "Minister, can he really be saved? Can he also recover the vitality that was previously lost?" Fong Ping felt that if Zhang Tao really helped old man Li recover his vitality, it would be worth it. After all, it would consume a lot of life essence. Unfortunately, Zhang Tao did not buy it. He shook his head slightly and said, it can only stop his mentality from dying out. As for recovery, you guys will have to think of another way. F***CK. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. This was a business that cost nothing. Now, Old Man Li could recover his mentality by simply replenishing some vitality. Did he think he was a fool? Just like that. He wanted to extort 5 divine weapons from me. However, when he thought about what happened today, if he did not give an explanation, he might not be able to live through this. Without old Zhang's support, it would not be easy to pass this hurdle in Star City. 5 divine weapons. 5 divine weapons. Very good. Old Zhang, I'll remember you. You must live until I reach the top. Don't die. Today, it's 5 rank, 7 divine weapons. When that time comes, it won't even be enough for you to return me the top divine weapons. Fang Ping remembered this debt. In history, this was the person who owed him the most, even more than Old Man Li. If it was not enough for old Zhang to sell himself, a top divine weapon selling himself should be enough. Fang Ping looked at Zhang Tao strangely. Zhang Tao seemed to be able to see through a person's heart, glancing at him with a half-smile. I'm extorting you. What can you do? You're lucky I didn't slap you to death. Today, you almost messed things up. I didn't kill you because I'm taking your credit. After an unknown amount of time, Fang Ping said, half crying and half laughing, "Thank you for saving my life, Minister. I can't repay this kindness. Fang Ping will remember it. 5 rank, 7 divine weapons, killing 10 high ranks. MCMU will do our best. Even if we have to go bankrupt, I beg Minister to save instructor's life." The phrase "remember it in my heart" was really engraved in his bones. It was heavy. Zhang Tao sighed softly, nodded, and said, "Then I'll bring Li Changsheng back. In this case, 1 divine fruit may not be able to save him. I'll look for Li Zhan and try to infuse the origin together again. I only hope that after he survives, he can see through some things because of today's nirvana." Sigh. With a long sigh, Zhang Tao waved his hand and took Li Changsheng's corpse away. After saying, "Let's continue," he disappeared without a trace. Fang Ping wanted to cry, but had no tears. "Let me die. A top divine weapon tricked me, a rank 6, and he even acted like he suffered a great loss. He even made other people worship him and make other people envious of him. What is this? Tricked me, and I still have to thank him. I'm in so much pain compared to tricking others. What is this?" Back then, when he tricked 5 divine weapons from Polaris City, it was a real battle with real swords and spears. He also acted as a follower and did it for a while. As for Zhang Tao, from the beginning to the end, he showed up for less than 5 minutes, and it was over. Fang Ping felt bitter in his heart, but he still had to pretend to be happy. He saved his instructor. How could he not be happy? Ironhead, this big idiot, was still congratulating him in a low voice. "How lucky! Minister, you still have the divine fruit to save Dean Li. You're too lucky." Chapter 552. Zhang Tao had left. Once Absolute Peak showed up, the matter was considered over. No one dared to go against Absolute Peak's will. As for Fang Ping, he glanced at the dazed Yang Mu and suddenly sighed softly. He said softly, "I won't take this matter to heart anymore. You and I are both the pillars of Sino Nation's younger generation. I hope we can enter the restricted area together this time and forget everything that happened before." Before he could finish his sentence, Yang Mu's expression changed drastically. He suddenly looked at Su Haoran, trembling all over. "Grandpa Su, I want to send second grandpa and Yang Feng home. In this lifetime, I will never leave Star Town." He was afraid. He was terrified. Fang Ping was so kind that he wanted to enter the restricted area with him. Just now, Fang Ping killed Yang Feng in a flash. Just now, Li Changsheng killed Yang He with 1 slash. In a few minutes, Fong Ping would meet him again and forget all enmity. Yang Mu's heart trembled. Fong Ping wanted to kill him. He was sure that Fong Ping wanted to kill him. On the ground, Fong Ping would not attack him anymore. Absolute Peak had already shown up. If Fong Ping dared to attack him again, he would really be disrespecting Absolute Peak. However, what about after entering the restricted area? Who could protect him? He did not want to compete anymore. He wanted to leave. He wanted to leave immediately. He even said that he would never leave Star Town. No one was not afraid of death. The Yang family of today was no longer the Yang family of the past. Fong Ping's face was full of kindness. He wanted to say something, but stopped. It seemed like he did not know what to say. Don't be afraid. I have no intention of killing you. You're too weak. However, if you really die, I won't save you. According to what others said, the probability of death after entering the restricted area is not low. You will probably die, right? Su Haoran glanced at Fong Ping, then at Yang Mu, and finally at Li Daong. He sighed softly. Commander Li, now that Yang He and Yang Feng are dead, why don't you let Yang Mu bring them back to Star Town? Li Daong did not say anything this time. He nodded and said, sure. After saying that, Li Daong glanced at them and turned to look at a rank 7 military department martial artist. Send Yang Mu back to Star Town. He asked the rank 7 to escort him because he was worried that Yang Mu would not be satisfied and cause trouble again. On the one hand, he was worried that Fong Ping might be up to no good. The last point was also to explain the situation to Stellar Sky City. Although Zhang Tao had stepped forward to suppress what had happened today, it was still necessary to make things clear, lest Yang Mu go back and stir up trouble. Without saying a word, Yang Mu went to collect Yang Feng's corpse. As for Yang, his body was badly mutilated and had almost been torn to pieces. Yang Mu used his clothes to wrap up the fragments. He took one last look at Fong Ping, his expression indescribably complicated. Resentment? Then there must be. But after the resentment, his heart turned cold. This was a ruthless person. Most likely, he had long wanted to kill them. Now that things had come to this, if they still couldn't tell, they would really be fools. Fong Ping said that he had pretended to be injured to kill the people from Pantheon. What a joke! When his mental strength collapsed, he only showed it to the people of Hua Nation. It was obvious who he was trying to lure. Yang Mu left without looking back. The Yang family was completely finished. Now, there was only a high-ranked Yang Qing left, and he was only a middle-stage rank 7. Under the circumstances, what could Yang Qing do? MCMAU Li Changsheng was not dead. Before Nirvana, he said, draw your sword and fight. Unless a rank 9 powerhouse stood up for the Yang family. Otherwise, who would dare to kill Fong Ping? As soon as he left, Fong Ping's expression returned to normal. Without waiting for the others to speak, Fong Ping suddenly said, now that Yang Mu has left, it's still my challenge, right? As soon as these words came out, the other countries lost the mood to watch the show. They had almost forgotten about the competition. Just now, the strength that Fong Ping had displayed was indeed terrifying. His mentality was not damaged at all. There was no damage at all. Previously, Roses thought that he had severely injured Fong Ping. Only now did he know that Fong Ping was just messing with him. Fong Ping swept his gaze across the crowd one by one. Suddenly, his eyes fell on a Grandmaster Sword Knight from Pantheon. This person wore full armor, but did not wear a helmet. His fiery red hair was also quite eye-catching. Fong Ping smiled and said, you're at Mentality, Vitality, Unity. There's no need to hide anything. No one can hide it from me, Fong Ping. Having said that, Fong Ping glanced at the great sword in his hand, then looked at his full armor, and said playfully, "Brother, why don't you come on stage and play?" Without the threat of the Yang family, he did not need to scheme anymore. At this moment, Fong Ping was reckless and high-spirited. This time, he almost ruined the youth competition. Although the others did not say anything, Fong Ping knew that he had to do something. Selfishness and fairness had to be taken into consideration. If he still did not put in effort in the upcoming competition, he might make a lot of people unhappy this time. He killed Yang Feng and forced Yang Mu away. Sino Nation had lost 2 peak combat strength. He could only kill some foreign powerhouses. Yes, kill. This hidden vitality unity was not a descendant of a paragon, but a powerhouse sent by the European government. The key was that the other party's sword was a divine weapon. Although the armor was not a divine weapon, it was still good stuff. He had just lost 5 divine weapons to old Zhang. Luo Saisai's greatsword was not bad. It was also a divine weapon. Now, he had to think of a way to make up for the loss. The knight who was called looked at Fong Ping and said, Are you sure you want to challenge me? Right now, it's not the final stage yet." Fong Ping chuckled. "It won't take long to kill you." Having said that, Fong Ping looked at Ka Meng and Butoi, as well as the tattooed man from Totem City. He said lightly, "After killing him, all of you will be next. You've got guts. How dare you kill a Sino Nation martial artist? You deserve to die." Arrogant. The few of them were furious. On the other hand, Sino Nation was very pleased. Fong Ping killed one of their own. Although they did not say anything, they still felt a little upset. But now, Fong Ping was extremely domineering. He called out names and wanted to kill the vitality unity powerhouses from various countries. It was really inspiring. Cut the crap. Go on stage. Having said that, Fong Ping leaped into the air and landed in the middle of the arena. At this moment, the arena had already fallen. The few rank 9s took a look at the broken seal and were about to continue. At this moment, the arena floated directly in the air. The next moment, a thin, transparent cover covered the arena. Fong Ping was slightly shocked. Absolute. Zhang Tao. He was indeed terrifyingly powerful. In Fong Ping's opinion, the seal set by the 7 rank 9s was not as powerful as this seal that was set up casually. Absolute was indeed enough to change everything. Just as Fong Ping entered the central area, the knight with the big sword walked out too. He looked at Fong Ping and said coldly, "You're digging your own grave. You talk too much." Just as he finished speaking, Sun City suddenly appeared. In the next moment, Sun City condensed into the chaos-vanquishing saber. Kacha! With a crisp sound, a crack appeared on the chaos-vanquishing saber. At the same time, Fong Ping roared. Celestiality, golden bone, vitality force, all the power surged into the saber in an instant. The chaos-vanquishing saber began to crumble. Fong Ping leaped into the air and slashed. The gods had fallen. In the void, all the gods and Buddhas were destroyed. Just as the illusion appeared, the saber light had already fallen. The fiery red hair of the knight, with the big sword, stood on end. There was a hint of madness in his eyes. Danger, extreme danger. Fong Ping was much stronger than when he fought Rosais. Roar. The knight with the big sword let out a wild roar. He did not run. There was no way to run. The battle area was too small. If he ran, he would be courting death. He could only take this move. Sun Sword. At this moment, the great sword in the knight's hand was like the sun, exploding with dazzling celestiality. Powerhouses who had achieved vitality fusion could explode celestiality. However, it would cause great damage to their bodies. Unless it was absolutely necessary, no one would be willing to do so. At this moment, The knight with the big sword did not hesitate. Exploding with all his might, a sword and a saber collided instantly. The gods in the sky fell, their blood splattering in the void. Just as the knight with the big sword unleashed his frenzied outburst, roaring incessantly, Fong Ping did not take a break after the slash just now. In an instant, the same slash materialized again. Bill. In Heaven of Gods, a powerhouse's expression changed drastically, roaring. Play dead. Admit defeat. They sensed a huge threat. Bill was in trouble. Just as the knight with the big sword heard this voice and was about to take action, his vision suddenly went black. The void shook. Mentality exploded. The explosion made him a little dazed. In this moment of daze, Fong Ping's second slash came. Boom. A loud bang was heard. On the spot, only a broken armor and great sword were left. Fong Ping frowned slightly. With a shift of his mentality, he retracted the great sword and armor. Then, he looked at the cracked, chaos-vanquishing saber in his hand, feeling a little helpless. That day, he had promised to use it until peak rank 6. Great, now it was about to completely shatter. It was a well-known weapon below divine weapon. Zhang Dingnan's saber was not that great. However, he had obtained another divine weapon. That was not bad. While Fong Ping was still sizing up this greatsword that was slightly smaller than raw sizes, the scene was extremely quiet. In just a moment, Fong Ping had killed a powerhouse who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion. Was Bill strong? Mentality-vitality fusion could not be that bad. It was almost a dream for a typical peak rank 6 to kill a mentality-vitality fusion powerhouse. But now, a mentality-vitality fusion powerhouse did not have much room to perform and was killed by Fong Ping with 2 slashes. In Wana World, Carmen's expression was gloomy, gripping his scepter tightly. Sino Nation's first casualty was killed by him. In ancient Buddhist sacred land, Butoya put his palms together, no longer smiling. He was mumbling something, suppressing the palpitation in his heart. In Totem City, the tattooed man did not say a word, his expression cold and solemn. In Mentality-Vitality Fusion, only the black-robed martial artist from the Andes Mountains did not seem to care because he did not kill any Sino Nation martial artists. Fong Ping only had 2 chances to challenge. It would not be his turn no matter what. At this moment, Fong Ping seemed to have thought of something. Suddenly, his face turned pale, blood spilled everywhere in the air, and he said with great difficulty, so powerful. Mentality-Vitality Fusion. It lives up to its name. F***CK. It was unknown if these foreigners knew how to curse in Sino Nation's national language. Anyway, at this moment, everyone's expression was extremely dark. Mother asterisk cur. You killed Bill with 2 slashes, and the other party did not even attack you. You self-destructed a part of your mentality. Now, only an idiot would believe that you could not recover. Bastard. Be asterisk tch. Everyone cursed in their hearts. Things had already come to this, and you still want to put on an act. Do you think that everyone is an idiot, that we will take the initiative to challenge you? Meanwhile, over at Sino Nation's side, Jiang Chao swallowed his saliva and said with some delight, so powerful. As he said that, Jiang Chao thought of something and immediately shouted, globally rank 6, Fong Ping is invincible. If you're not convinced, come and fight me. Fong Ping, who had unleashed his full power, was too powerful. Moreover, it was extremely shameless. When he unleashed one move, the materialized mentality self-destructed. It was almost impossible for those below rank 7 to withstand it, and they would all experience a moment of dizziness. Meanwhile, Fong Ping's vitality recovered quickly, and he could quickly unleash a second slash. Most of the time, even if your mentality self-destructed, you would not be able to unleash a second slash, and you would not be able to kill your opponent. But Fong Ping could. He had unleashed 2 slashes in a row, 2 extremely powerful slashes. There were not many rank SIXS who could withstand 2 slashes from him, unless they were martial artists who wore accessories that could withstand mentality attacks. Obviously, Bill did not. Or, rather, among the martial artists present, including those from Sino Nation, there were less than 10 who had this ability. Moreover, it might not necessarily be in powerhouses who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion. It was more likely to be in the weaker ones. Fong Ping spat blood for a while, glanced at Carmen and the rest, then looked at Luo Sayas and chuckled. I've used up all my chances of being challenged, but the 2 hidden grandmasters can challenge me, and I won't reject them. Maybe I'll witness a battle between rank 6 grandmasters. Ha! Fong Ping was arrogant and presumptuous to the point of no bounds. He pretended to be injured, and it was obvious that he had no intention of concealing it. He was just toying with them. Yet he pointed out that there were 2 hidden grandmasters, and even began to provoke them. This guy was too savage. The foreign young martial artists were extremely furious, and also extremely vigilant. There were 2 more grandmasters, other than their own people. Outsiders really did not know that there were actually 2 hidden grandmasters this time. At that moment, everyone was on high alert. As for the 2 grandmaster powerhouses who were pointed out, although they did not show it, they were also somewhat vigilant in their hearts. Amazing! Did King Wu tell them just now? Or did Fong Ping discover it on his own? If Fong Ping discovered it on his own, then this Sino Nation prodigy was really a little scary. Daring to challenge grandmasters, this guy's ability might be even stronger. When Fong Ping returned to his seat, Jiang Chao said excitedly, "Amazing, really amazing. Killing mentality-vitality fusion in 2 slashes. Fong Ping, invincible rank. 6, you're definitely going to be 1. Fong Ping grinned. That's not necessarily true. Some people's trump cards are very strong. For example, the kill formula from before. I've also seen the suppress formula before, that can even suppress a rank. 9. Jiang Chao chuckled. That requires preparation time, and it's not like you can use it whenever you want. There are 13 families in Star Town, and there are 13 ultimate techniques. Actually, we've only learned the surface of these ultimate techniques, and they're not the real ultimate techniques. If you really want to unleash a powerful force, you need to be at least a rank 9. For example, my Jiang family's destroy formula is said to be unbreakable, but in reality, even if I really used it, I would be killed by you before I could even make a move. That would be useless. Just now, he wanted to say Yang Feng, but after thinking about it, he immediately shut his mouth. Yang Feng was killed by Fong Ping, so he was also a member of Star Town. There was no need to say anything more. Destroy formula? Does everyone in Star Town use this kind of font ultimate technique? Fong Ping was still very interested in this. He had not seen Commander Li's void-piercing swordsmanship before. It was not that he did not want to see it, but when it was sent to him, he could not open it. When Old Li opened it, he learned it was gone. Yes, gone. Li Jun was too stingy. He only taught Old Li. After Old Li learned it, the aura of the origin dissipated, and then it was gone. Just like Rose King's rank 9 origin, it was gone after it was used up. If no one showed you a short movie, you would not be able to learn it. Jiang Chao and the others learned this kind of ultimate technique, but they still needed their rank 9 family to consume some of their origin energy to help them learn it. Those who did not have a rank 9 family did not even have the chance to learn it, unless their Paragon ancestor took the initiative to teach them. Not really. There are a few families that don't use fonts. Actually, fonts are just an external manifestation. The main thing is still the structure of some origin. Cough, cough, cough. Su Haoran coughed softly, glaring at Jiang Chao with some annoyance. This little fatty, he had the urge to beat him to death. At this time, it was not convenient to be too close to Fang Ping. Fang Ping had just killed someone from Star City. No matter what, no matter how good their relationship was, he had to keep his distance at this time. At least it represented Star City's attitude. If word got out that you were chatting with Fang Ping now, everyone might think that it was the Jiang family who instigated it. Also, you can tell everything to the outside world. Can you casually talk about the ultimate technique? Someone like Li Zhen valued his own ultimate technique more than anything. Aren't you afraid that your ancestor will kill you? Jiang Chao pursed his lips and said no more. Minister Wang, on the other hand, looked at Fang Ping with a gratified expression. He smiled and said, "Well done." Fang Ping's domineering killing of a mentality-vitality powerhouse could be said to have shocked everyone. With Fang Ping around, Sino Nation was much more confident. At this time, the matter of Fang Ping killing the mentality-vitality fusion martial artist was considered to be over. According to the order, it was time to challenge the middle stage rank 6 martial artists in Heaven of Gods. In reality, there were not many middle stage rank 6 martial artists. The 5 forces only had 5 of them. Sino Nation, on the other hand, had more. That middle stage rank 6 martial artist first glanced at Su Zissou, then looked at the other middle stage rank 6 martial artists from various forces. Finally, after some thought, he still challenged the middle stage martial artist from the 10,000 Pagodas world. It could not be helped. He was also afraid of death. Other than martial arts university people, the middle stage rank 6 martial artists who came to participate in the competition were all descendants of Peerless Peak. It was fine for them to fight, but there were a few lunatics in Sino Nation. Although Fang Ping did not kill a Peerless Peak's descendant, Li Yiming had just killed one. Fang Ping was not interested in the battle between 2 middle stage rank 6 martial artists. He asked casually, why did Minister Zhang's descendants participate in the competition? Minister Zhang had 3 grandsons and 2 granddaughters, but one of them died. Of the remaining 4, 2 have already achieved high ranks, and the other 2 are still young. The one who spoke was Minister Wang. Fang Ping heard this and raised his eyebrows. How old are they? I think they're taking the Gaokao this year. I don't really remember, so I didn't pay much attention. Minister Wang was not too concerned about this. He was also a rank 8 powerhouse. No matter how much he curried favor with the Peerless Peak, it was not to the extent of currying favor with his descendants. In this era, if you did not have the strength, even if you were a Peerless Peak's descendant, powerhouses would not pay much attention to you. Jiang Chao and the others were all Peerless Peak's descendants, but people like Minister Wang usually only talked to Fang Ping and Du Hong. There was no other reason. You did not have the strength. I respect your ancestors, but it does not mean I am willing to pay attention to you. Fang Ping heard this and touched his chin. Participate in the Gaokao? Such a coincidence? MCMAU wanted to take him in. They had to fight to take him in. Under normal circumstances, the descendants of these big shots in Capital City would go to Capital City Martial Arts University. But now, MCMAU was the most famous martial arts university. Take him in, hee. Fang Ping's eyes revealed a hint of deep thought. When you arrived at MCMAU, your seniors and instructors would painstakingly teach you. You can't not appreciate it, right? The key was, what was the other party's strength? The Peerless Peak's descendants all cultivated in advance. Their strength would not be too weak. Participate in the Gaokao. He did not seem to have heard of anyone rank 5 or 6 participating in the Gaokao. Fong Ping was a little suspicious. If in the end a rank 5 or 6 martial artist entered the school, it would be embarrassing if the average instructor could not defeat them. Forget it. Even if they really are rank 5 or 6, it's nothing. Fong Ping shook his head and stopped thinking about it. Old Zhang extorted 5 divine weapons from him this time. Although there was a reason for it, it was still too much. He would settle the score with him sooner or later. On Heaven of God's side, the match between the 2 middle-stage martial artists ended very slowly. After fighting for a long time, a winner was finally decided amicably. At this time, the middle stage of the 10,000 pagoda world had just finished their battle and was not in the mood to continue challenging. As for the others, some gave up their chances again. Some challenged the 2 who had just fought. After 1 round, it was Sino Nation's turn. This time, Sino Nation had the right to challenge. Old Wang, Tai Tu, Yao Qingjun, and Su Zissou all had the right to challenge. Fong Ping saw this and laughed. Fight for our martial arts university's prestige. Isn't the 10,000 pagoda world very arrogant? That Carmen or whatever it is, how dare he kill our Sino Nation martial artists? The 3 of you kill 1 peak rank, 6 each. As soon as he said this, there was a slight commotion on Wana World's side. There were 12 people from Wanta World participating in the competition. After a few rounds, 3 people had already died. Now, there were 9 people left. Other than Carmen, there were only 3 peak rank, 6 martial artists left. One of them was even a descendant of a paragon. Li Hansong cracked his neck and laughed. All right, I'll kill 1 then. I've waited for a few rounds, and no one challenged me. What a pity. Not far away, Carmen gripped his scepter tightly. He looked at Fong Ping and said coldly, Fong Ping, I still have 2 right to challenge. Fong Ping smiled. Do whatever you want. On my side, other than the few of us, only General Du Hong is not a descendant of a paragon. You can pick anyone. It's fine even if you pick us. Just give it a try. As for killing a paragon's descendant, you can kill them if you want. Fong Ping was not interested in this. Even if Jiang Chao and Su Zissou were challenged and killed, Fong Ping did not think too much about it. If others could die, then a paragon's descendant could die too. At this time, did they really expect him to value other people's lives more? That was obviously impossible. Carmen's face darkened. He did not speak again. However, his gaze was set on Wang Jinyang and the others. Fong Ping could not kill them himself, but these people, if they really dared to kill their people, he would not be merciful. Wang Jinyang did not even look at him. Li Hansong, on the other hand, grinned. With mentality-vitality fusion, there was a high chance that he would not be a match. However, it was not that easy to kill him either. Ignoring Carmen, Li Hansong pointed at 1 person from Wana World and laughed. Come out. 3 minutes later, Li Hansong paid the price of bathing in golden blood and killed his opponent. Soon, Li Hansong began to recover. His golden body shone even more brilliantly. This time, everyone from Wana World was so angry that their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. These guys, although they were middle-stage martial artists, they were even worse than the paragon's descendants. Chapter 553. At the same time, Ministry of Education. Zhang Tao sipped his tea leisurely, staring at the corpse in front of him for a long time. After another sip of tea, Zhang Tao said faintly, He's already dead. How can he be revived? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. His corpse has been obliterated. Old man, Li was still silent. Zhang Tao smiled faintly. Before I left, coincidentally, I touched the corpse and found 10 caddies of life essence. People nowadays are really rich and overbearing. They can even casually throw away their life essence. How can that be? The next moment, Old Man Li spoke. At this moment, Old Man Li was exasperated. He shrieked, "I sealed it. How did you get it?" When he came, he brought life essence. However, he did not carry it with him. Instead, he put it on the roof where the sculpture was and sealed it. It was not far anyway. If he needed it, he could use it immediately. Who knew? Zhang Tao would find it. Zhang Tao sneered. He said faintly, "I'm at the top. What can be hidden from me in capital city?" Old Man Li cursed in his heart. Bullsh *T. If nothing could be hidden from you, today's incident would not have happened. He could only brag about it after the fact. As he spoke, Zhang Tao suddenly said coldly, "You brought so much life essence with you, and it's on the ground. Are you ready to kill?" "No, I brought it for self-defense." "Humph." Old Man Li did not care if he snorted. He said weakly, "Give it back." "I picked it up. Your name is written on it. Is it yours, Li Changsheng?" "No." Old Man Li did not mind. He added, "But I swallowed it in my stomach. It has my breath on it. It's gone now." "Then why don't you just kill me?" Old Man Li was listless. He thought for a while and said, "Forget it. Don't give it back. I'll hang myself in front of the Ministry of Education." "Bastard!" Zhang Tao slammed the table, annoyed. He tossed a bottle to him. Old Man Li took it quickly and looked at it. He opened it again and said unhappily, "2 caddies less. Cut the crap. In your case, 2. 5 caddies is enough. The 2 caddies less will be the cost of my insurance." Zhang Tao added, "Do you think we'll let it go just like that? Do you know how big of a mess you've made? You killed the current head of the Yang family, in front of all the experts in the world. What do you expect the people of Star Town to think? The Yang clan's old ancestor, and some of the old ancestors of Star Town had lived together for hundreds of years, yet they didn't have any feelings for each other? You almost ruined everything. If you really died, then forget it. But you didn't die, and I saved you, which is equivalent to me protecting you. I'll take the blame for you. Is there a problem with giving me 1 kilogram of life essence?" Zhang Tao scolded him a few times, but he cursed in his heart. These guys were really rich. Ever since he picked up a bunch of them back then, he really hadn't gotten his hands on any of them. It wasn't that he couldn't get his hands on them, but he couldn't kill them casually. There were still many people injured in the Ministry of Education. Since he had picked up 10 caddies, it shouldn't be a problem to collect some storage fees, right? The absolute peak was also poor. Old Man Li said gloomily, "Didn't you extort 5 divine weapons from Fong Ping? That's what he needs to pay." Zhang Tao was slightly annoyed. MCMU has spoiled him too much. This isn't a good thing. He should have suffered a setback and suffered a big loss. This time, how much trouble has he caused because of his stubbornness? 5 divine weapons isn't about this. It's just a warning to him not to act recklessly anymore. The Yang family made a move on him first. I know. Zhang Tao felt a headache coming on. If not, I would have killed you long ago if you dared to kill a Sino rank 8 in front of everyone. But he can't take any losses. He calls himself the youth leader, but what is a leader? Tell me, Li Changsheng is a leader like this? He has better ways to resolve some problems, even if he needs to endure humiliation temporarily. He's a powerhouse, a genius, far from being a leader. He unites all forces that can be united, even if he's misunderstood. They want to kill him. I know. Zhang Tao was slightly speechless. Aren't you here? Do you think the Yang family can kill him? Not possible, right? As long as the competition is over, since the military department has ordered Yang He to return to Star City, then Star City will not disobey. Do you really think Li Jun is a pushover? If Star City dares to let him out, even if Li Jun flips out, Star City will have to consider if it's worth it. The government won't sit back and do nothing. After today, they can ignore the Yang family. Even if they're unhappy, they can rise and hide. If they rise, they can soar in the universe. If they hide, they can hide. That's what a hero is. He's only 20 years old. Old man, Li was speechless. He's not an old person like you. If we don't stand up for him, now, something big will happen sooner or later. Zhang Tao glanced at him, frowning. Yes, he's young. You're young too? If you went easy on him and injured Yang, would you be able to fake your death and get away without killing him? When the time comes, we'll be in the right. If Star City doesn't give us an explanation, how can we let them get away so easily? You, on the other hand, you killed him with one slash. Do you think you're overbearing? Li Changsheng, you're becoming more and more brainless. Old man Li explained, I couldn't control my strength. It was also my first time making a move. How would I know if I could kill him? Shut up. Zhang Tao flew into a rage out of humiliation. You talk back 3 times for every sentence I say. If you were my son, I'd kill you with one slap. At his age, old man Li was considered his son. He was even younger than his son. However, looking at old man Li's aged appearance, Zhang Tao felt that it was better not to have such a son. He was too old. Old man Li did not say anything. What did I say? You talk a lot, okay? After a while, old man Li said, then I'll be leaving. Leaving? Going where? Zhang Tao frowned. Stay in the Department of Education for a while. Leave after the competition is over. After you return to MCMU, you're not allowed to go out. Cultivating in seclusion has drained your vitality very quickly, even if you have life essence to replenish the consumption. But this is not a long-term solution. I can still live for 8 to 10 years. I don't know if I can live until then. Old man Li did not care. Zhang Tao pondered. It's easy to die if you want to. Cultivate a little stronger. You can unite all paths, vitality, and mentality. When you cultivate to 100,000 calories vitality, you can kill a rank 9. Right now, you're still lacking a lot. When that time comes, even if you want to die, you have to take a few rank 9s with you. Don't die of old age on the ground. Right now, Li Changxing's vitality was not very strong. Rank 6 martial artists had 10,000 cal vitality. Rank 7 martial artists could usually cultivate to 50,000 calories. Of course, at that time, vitality did not mean everything. A rank 8 powerhouse could reach 100,000 calories vitality. Old man Li had once boasted that he would cultivate 1,000,000 cal vitality to reach the peak. He also said that 100,000 calories vitality could kill a rank 9. At that time, he did not have a rank 9 divine weapon yet. He had not learned the void-piercing swordplay technique. Of course, although vitality was easier to cultivate, he could not kill a rank 9 in one move. Right now, his vitality was only slightly higher than a new rank 8 martial artist, about 60 to 70,000 cal. If he wanted to cultivate to 100,000 calories, who knew how long it would take? If he really cultivated to 100,000 calories, there would not be many rank 9s below the peak who could fight him. Old man Li did not say anything. Zhang Tao pondered for a moment again. Suddenly, he said, Fong Ping, did he bring back the Yang family's corpse? Old man Li's expression turned serious. He said immediately, Of course not. Zhang Tao felt a headache coming on. He said softly, If he did, ask him to bring it out as soon as possible. Some things are still a little troublesome. Others might not know, but how can I not know? When he left the catacombs that day, it's not like I don't know how much life essence he brought with him. Now, you bring 10 caddies here and there, and it might not even be all of it. Wang Qinghai brought 2 caddies too. Zhang Qingnan and Chen Yaoting also got some. That's the reserve from the last Nanjiang catacombs trip. Do you think I'm an idiot? Zhang Tao said angrily, the life essence is condensed from monster plants. There's not a trace of remnant aura. Is it the Rose City Lords or Nanjiang gigantic willow cities? Can I tell? I've taken the blame for all of you, and you're trying to fool me? Li Changsheng, do you think I'm an idiot who has lived for almost 100 years? Old man, Li looked helpless. All right, he had underestimated absolute peak. After a while, old man Li said he really didn't take it. If he did, he wouldn't keep it a secret and wouldn't bring it out. Even if he didn't give it to the Yang family, old Wu was about to reach rank 9. He would still give it to old Wu. This kid is sentimental and knows who will protect him. It's not bad for him if old Wu becomes stronger. Then where did his storage ring come from? Zhang Tao asked. Fang Ping's life essence had increased by a huge amount out of nowhere. Others might not care, thinking that it was his reserve from the last time. But it was not like he did not know. Coincidentally, the last time Fang Ping came out from Tianan, he was there too. He knew every strand of hair on Fang Ping's body. Old man, Li was speechless. He mumbled, he doesn't have a storage ring. If you dare to lie to me again, I'll throw you to Mount Imperial Sea. You can go talk to the few from Star City yourself. Zhang Tao looked displeased. Even at this time, this guy was still playing dumb with him. Li Changsheng was helpless. After a while, he said, all right, I'll tell you, he does have a storage ring, but only he can open it. It's something that belongs to him. That's not someone else's. It's his. He already had it when he was in the Nanjiang catacombs. It has nothing to do with the Yang family. I can guarantee this because I already knew it last time. Having said that, Old Man Li looked at Zhang Tao and asked, does everyone in Absolute Peak have a storage ring? Zhang Tao ignored him, saying softly, his own storage ring. Where did he get it? After thinking for a while, Zhang Tao shook his head. Martial artists all have their own secrets. I don't want to investigate too deeply. Everyone has their own secrets. But this time, coincidentally, it's related to that person from the Yang family. I didn't pay attention to it before. Now that I think about it, the Yang family's incessant pestering might have something to do with this. As he said that, Zhang Tao confirmed once again, are you sure that it's his, and not something that was stolen this time? I'm sure. Li Changsheng, you're a swordsman powerhouse. I believe you. Zhang Tao nodded slightly, muttering, forget it. Just say that it's a trial product developed by the government and gave it to him. The government has really developed it. Old man Li looked surprised. He had long heard that the government was developing these things, but had they really developed it? No, but some of the trial products have extremely unstable space and can collapse easily. Once it does, it'll hurt both others and oneself. It's still in the development stage. As for us, we have it. It's not our own, but we obtained it from some other places. Fang Ping also has it. At this moment, Zhang Tao thought of many things. After a while, he said, tell him not to go around showing off for no reason. Where did he get this thing? Although I don't want to ask about this, some things can easily cause some misunderstanding. That person from the Yang family, Li Zhen, and I will go to the bounded domain once in a while. Even if we don't enter, we can more or less sense some of the situation. As long as Li Zhen and I bear witness, it'll be over. Don't give me any more trouble. The situation now is not stable. Star Town's situation is also a little complicated. You and Wu Quishan, one has weak rank 9 combat strength, the other is about to reach rank 9. Old Man Li said with some dissatisfaction. I'm not considered a weak rank 9, am I? Zhang Tao was so angry that he almost laughed. If you continue fighting with a weak rank 9, you'll most likely be the one who dies. Do you really think you're something? Can you lock onto a rank 9's whereabouts? Just treat it as a powerful weapon. Stop talking nonsense. If I say you're a weak rank 9, then you are. Old Manly said nothing. Since Ju Feng had already said so, if he continued to refute, he would definitely get angry. Zhang Tao did not bother to say anything more. He continued, Sino Nation needs high-end combat strength to replenish now. You guys are also martial arts university seniors. Don't be like young kids, fooling around. Also, go back and warn Fang Ping. This is the only time. If he wants to be a leader, he must at least display the bearing and demeanor of a leader. Being a leader doesn't just mean it. Got it? Get lost. Don't go to Imperial Sea Mountain in the near future. Old Manly nodded and said no more. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly turned his head and said, What if the Yang family comes looking for trouble again? Zhang Tao's expression darkened. He said angrily, You think they're idiots? It's hard to say. Then kill them. Not on the ground or at Mount Royal Sea. Anywhere else is up to you. Zhang Tao humphed. You even need to ask me? If the Yang family really came looking for trouble, then he was stupid. As long as they did not make a move on the ground and cause trouble for him, not at Mount Royal Sea either. Because there was a patriarch in Stellar Sky City. Be careful not to get killed. Old Man Li did not say much. Martial artists were not easy to deal with. Old Man Zhang was also a ruthless person. If he was not ruthless enough, he would not be able to reach the peak. This time, he was angry with Li Changsheng and Fang Ping, but that was because these two bastards did not follow the rules. He had done such a thing in public during the youth tournament. If it was in the catacombs, if the Yang family made a move on Fang Ping, he would be killed. There would not be so much trouble. After waiting for Old Man Li to leave, Zhang Tao mumbled, Fang Ping's own. Where did the storage ring come from? After thinking for a while, Zhang Tao shook his head. Forget it. He would not bother. Although the storage ring was good stuff, it was only for an individual. It did not matter much in the big picture. As long as it was confirmed that it did not belong to the Yang family, it was fine. The corpse of a peak would still attract attention. Meanwhile, Martial Arts Association. Wang Jinyang's expression was cold. He had pierced through his opponent's chest with one move, shattering his internal organs. His opponent was not completely dead. His eyes showed some disbelief. Were all martial arts students in Sino Nation this ruthless to the enemy, ruthless to himself too? At this moment, half of Wang Jinyang's face was gone. The crack in his skull was shocking. The skull was the Achilles heel of most martial artists. This martial artist, named Wang Jinyang, was not like Li Hansong. Li Hansong had golden bones all over his body. He was so strong that even his skull was made of gold. Wang Jinyang was not. Once his skull was shattered, he would die without a doubt. However, Wang Jinyang dared to use his own head as bait. He was really ruthless. Wang Jinyang did not care about him anymore. He casually tossed his opponent away. When his opponent landed on the ground, there was no sign of life. Over at the 10,000 Pagoda World, everyone's expression was extremely solemn. In a short time, Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong had killed 2 of their peak rank, 6 powerhouses. At this moment, there were only 7 people left in the 10,000 Pagoda World. Out of 12 people who participated in the competition, 5 had died. Although there were people who died in the past, there were not so many. It was already the limit for a family to have 2 or 3 people die. Most of them were heavily injured, and some of them only had light injuries. This time, Wang Jinyang had killed 2 peak rank 6. Li Hansong had killed a peak rank 6. Fong Ping had killed a mentality-vitality fusion. These few martial arts university youths who appeared in the youth competition for the first time were undoubtedly ruthless. They were ruthless to the enemy and to themselves. Even some of the martial artists from the military department might not be as ruthless as them. The military department martial artists were also constantly fighting, but they rarely went on adventures alone. Most of the time, they acted in teams. Compared to people like Fong Ping and the others, these adventurers who wandered around the catacombs had experienced more storms, faced more dangers, and seen more of the world. The middle-ranked martial artists present had at most fought with some catacombs rank 7s. As for Fong Ping and the others, they had encountered more rank 7s than they could count. When Old Wang returned, Fong Ping took a look at his head and frowned slightly. That was too risky. Old Wang shook his head slightly and pointed at his head that was already beginning to glow with golden light. His meaning was clear. He would not die and could recover. Beside him, Jiang Chao swallowed and said with a face full of smiles, "Brother Wang." Fong Ping glanced at him, slightly speechless. Wang Jinyang was also speechless. Jiang Chao was older than them by 4 to 5 years. However, this guy called him Brother Wang. Was he shameless? Some people from Star Town wanted to crawl into a hole in the ground. It was 2F** king embarrassing. Jiang Chao did not care about this. Ruthless people. He loved ruthless people the most. He was afraid when the ruthless people were in someone else's house, but he was in their group now. An accomplice, with these few ruthless people protecting him. How awesome would it be? During the battle, he would cheer them on, and after the battle, he would be in charge of logistics. It was 2F** king perfect. How could a team not have logistics services? As for following the people from Star Town or the military department, forget about it. The people from Star Town were not reliable, and he was not familiar with the people from the government. Moreover, his strength was not that great. It was not as good as following Fong Ping and the others. Wang Jinyang and Fong Ping ignored him. Beside him, it was already Su Zisu's turn. However, Su Zisu looked at Yao Qingjun and said immediately, "I give up." Her little heart was thumping hard now. She was a little scared. It was better to let Yao Qingjun and the others fight. Maybe if they killed a few more, they would advance without fighting. Su Zisu did a count. Many people had died. Sino Nation had 4 dead. 1 had left. There were 15 left. Heaven of Gods had 14 people. For had died. There were 10 left. Wana World, 7. Ancient Buddha's Sacred Land, 10. Totem City, 5. Andes Mountains, 6. The only full team. There were 53 people left. These ruthless people, if they killed another 23 of them, they would all advance without fighting. Su Zisu started counting. Fong Ping still had 2 chances to challenge. The other 3 people from martial arts universities still had 8 chances. 10 times. If they killed 1 every time, there would be 43 left. The others would have to be killed, right? Maybe I don't have to fight anymore. Su Zisu was a little lost. Did they not say that fighting for a spot was very difficult? Would he be able to directly advance this time? While Su Zisu was counting with her fingers, the other party's expressions were solemn. This year, the death rate had exceeded expectations. In the past, it had never been this bad. When he saw Yao Qingjun go up, he looked at the only remaining peak rank, 6 in Wana World. Carmen was completely furious. He gritted his teeth and said, "Fong Ping, do you really want to go to the extreme? Too, he is the king's heir." Fong Ping smiled. Yao Qingjun is only a rank 5 martial artist. He is the weakest here. How can challenging a peak rank 6 be considered going to the extreme? I should be the one worried. Carmen, why don't you ask this king's heir to go easy on him? Everyone cursed in their hearts. Could a martial artist with mentality materialize be treated like a rank 5? Did Yao Chungjun have mentality recovery techniques like Fong Ping's? If he did, then it would be troublesome. If he did not, some of them might wear the mentality prohibition jewelry. They might even have a chance to kill Yao Chungjun. However, if he did, even if he wore that thing, he could only block it for a while. How could he block the repeated mentality self-detonations? He would die for sure. The Wana World side was a little scared after being killed. Seeing the ugly expressions on Carmen and the rest, some of the Sino Nation contestants looked delighted. On the military department's side, the first martial artist to be killed was killed by Carmen. The person who was targeted by Yao Chungjun seemed a little nervous. When Yao Chungjun pointed at him, the other party looked left and right. After a while, he walked out. What happened next almost made the Wana World side vomit blood. Yao Chungjun had just displayed the mentality materialization when the other party seemed to have suffered a heavy blow. He flew backward and lay on the ground, motionless. It was over. This time, everyone was speechless. Did he attack? Yao Chungjun looked helpless too. He turned his head and looked at Fong Ping. He had no choice. In the crowd, Jiang Chao muttered, "Mother asterisker, why did he copy me?" He had already thought about it. If he met a powerhouse who challenged him, he would do it. Now, he had not done it, but someone else was one step ahead of him. Fong Ping was also speechless. Yao Chungjun might not actually be able to kill his opponent. His mentality was strong, but it was consumed quickly. He could not be like Old Wang and the rest who used up his mentality and waited for it to recover. His mentality recovered slowly. Once it was used up, it would be dangerous if he was challenged later. Therefore, Fong Ping had already made arrangements. If he really could not kill his opponent, he would not use up too much mentality. His goal was still to get a place. Now, the battle was over before anyone made a move. With that, the first round of the competition was completely over. Chapter 554. The second round had yet to begin. The rank 9 with the crown on his head suddenly said, "Deputy Commander Li, the purpose of the youth competition is to enter the God territory. After we enter, we will still be allies. Now, the killing is too intense. Should we adjust?" The old man with the sun halo on his head frowned slightly. In the past, almost no one died in the mentality vitality unity state. Everyone could enter. This is also the greatest guarantee that human martial artists can resist the God territory martial artists. Now, the killing is too intense. The old man looked around, glanced at Fong Ping, and continued, "In the past, there were middle stage and high stage martial artists left, but very few. Most of them were peak rank 6 and mentality vitality unity. If the killing continues like this, it will be dangerous. In the past few years, everyone also killed, but not so ruthlessly. Even mentality vitality unity was killed. The relationship between human countries was very complicated. They cooperated and killed each other, weakening each other's strength. This year, however, other than Ka Meng and Tu He, who had just played dead, there was no peak rank 6. This time, among the participants, there were 2 Grandmasters, 7 mentality vitality unity, and 24 peak rank 6. Now, there were 6 mentality vitality unity people and 16 peak rank 6 people. The number of peak rank 6 people who died was more than the number of upper stage. As the 2 of them spoke, the old monk from the ancient Buddha's sacred land also said slowly, "The killing is too intense. It has exceeded expectations." Just like military exercises, there would always be some death indicators. However, the number of deaths was also controlled within a certain range. According to the past situation, it would not exceed 20%. In other words, the death toll of more than 14 people had exceeded everyone's expectations. Now, there were already 16 people dead. This was only the first round. Now, the youth representatives from all sides were fighting with anger. If this continued, although Sino-Nation's performance was the strongest, they still had 15 people. They could not kill Fong Ping, and the rest. If they were really in a killing frenzy, who would care about the identity of the peerless progeny? Half of the people from Stellar Sky City would probably die. Just as Li Daong was deep in thought, on Sino-Nation's side, Minister Wang set up a barrier and said in a low voice, "Fong Ping, we can't continue killing. If we continue killing, we will become the target of public criticism. If we provoke the 5 parties, 2 rank 7s, and 5 mentality, vitality, unity people, half of our people will die. If that really happened, Wang Jinyang and the others would be in danger. If the first essence and blood fusion couldn't kill you, then the second would continue to challenge you. No matter how fast your recovery speed was, it was still limited. If he managed to survive one, there was still hope, but if there were 2, he would definitely die. As for feigning death and admitting defeat, there weren't many martial artists who would do such a thing. Most of the time, death was a small matter. The country and personal honor were the most important things. Fong Ping glanced at everyone. Du Hong said in a low voice, "We've already intimidated everyone. It's not a good time to be ruthless. If we don't, they'll start fighting amongst themselves. This way, we can maximize our chances of getting more slots." Fong Ping, the quota was the most important. 1 quota almost represents the birth of a grandmaster. No matter how many rank SIXS we kill, it's not as important as 1 more grandmaster. The youth tournament was not just about fighting. When you have the strength to intimidate everyone, you don't necessarily need to be cruel and ruthless. That will cause everyone to join forces to attack you. Before this, there were still challenges between the various parties. However, in this round, if Sino-Nation were to kill again, it would probably be Sino-Nation's turn. After hearing that, Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "I don't have the intention to kill. I didn't want to kill anyone from the beginning. But Carmen and the others, this is a tradition. They're also the first person from Pantheon that I've killed." Although the death of his comrade saddened Du Hong, he was still rational. Killing some people was a tradition in every competition. He was the first to kill someone from Pantheon to establish his dominance. Similarly, the powerhouses from other countries killed to establish their status and prove their strength. As he said that, Du Hong said in a low voice, "If you really want to venture anger, enter the restricted zone first. After entering, it'll be extremely chaotic. No one will care if you die in the restricted zone. However, if you kill too much in the youth tournament, especially the descendants of the top, you might have to bear some consequences." Fong Ping understood. His eyes narrowed and he nodded. "I understand." After he finished speaking, Li Daong and a few rank 9s discussed in low voices for a while. Then they said, "In the second round, representatives from various countries are allowed to replace the participants in the field to admit defeat." As soon as this was said, many people breathed a sigh of relief. There were not many who could ask a martial artist to admit defeat on their own. However, it was still possible to ask the elders in their family to admit defeat on their behalf. Just like the Martial Arts University Championship, there were not many participants who admitted defeat. It was mostly the grandmasters from each school who did so. This way, the casualty rate would be greatly reduced. Each country had rank 9s watching over them. They had extremely sharp eyes. It was easy for them to sense whether the other party could kill their own people in one hit and admit defeat in time. Fong Ping curled his lips. The so-called rules of the top could not be changed. However, when it came to the issue of a large number of casualties, it could still be changed easily. These people deserved to be killed. After killing so many, naturally, they would not dare to treat it as a game anymore. He was really not too afraid. Even if he encountered the two Rank 7 powerhouses, he was not too worried. At the beginning of Rank 7, the strength of mentality was limited, and so was celestiality. It was impossible to kill him in one hit. If he could not kill him in one move, Fong Ping might not be able to exhaust the other party to death. However, in the end, the outcome would still be determined. Grandmasters might not dare to waste time with him. Such young grandmasters were not familiar with them. Obviously, they had just broken through. Fong Ping also sensed for a while. There were no middle-stage Rank 7 existences. The rules changed. Du Hong said again, this round mainly eliminates the people from Pantheon of Gods and Totem City. The remaining two families have grandmasters. Andes Mountain is the weakest and has a full team. The other families will not let them go. Let them fight it out. As for the world of 10,000 pagodas, there were not many people left. Carmen did not want Sino Nation to continue targeting them, so it was best to keep an eye on the other families. Fong Ping nodded slightly. Du Hong stood up and said, I challenge you. As he said that, he pointed at an upper-stage Rank 6 martial artist from Totem City. That person's expression changed slightly. He thought that Sino Nation's mentality-vitality fusion was going to attack him. He could not help but look at his own Rank 9. Totem City's Rank 9 was a tall, muscular man with tattoos all over his body. He looked extremely ferocious. Seeing this, he glanced at Du Hong and said directly, admit defeat. He did not even have the intention to send someone up. Upper stage Rank 6 against mentality-vitality fusion. They would be killed in 3 moves. Du Hong won directly. Next was Luo Sayas. Luo Sayas stared at Sino Nation's side for a long time. In the end, he chose a black-robed martial artist from Andes Mountain with an ugly expression. Seeing this, Fong Ping lost interest in watching the battle. He looked at Minister Wang and asked, Minister, now that I'm almost certain to get the quota, shouldn't you tell me about the restricted zone? I still don't know anything. I don't know what to do. Minister Wang shook his head. Don't ask because I'm not too sure either. When the quota is confirmed, there will be someone to answer your questions. Beside him, Su Haoran said, when the competition is over, we will tell everyone. President Fong, you don't have to be too anxious. As he said that, Su Haoran seemed to hesitate, but he still said, after entering the restricted zone, I hope that President Fong can take care of Li Fei. And the others, Su Haoran added, what happened to the Yang family doesn't represent Star City's attitude. Li Fei and the others have also interacted with President Fong a few times. President Fong knows their character. The second generations of Star City did not have bad personalities. Even after they found out that Fong Ping had tricked 5 divine weapons away, they did not say anything. Because of their families and the strength of their ancestors, these people were naturally arrogant, but their temperaments were relatively simple. Whether it was love or hate, it could almost be seen from the surface. On the other hand, the martial artists from the outside world had more experience. Each of them was a wily old fox. When they reached Rank 6, almost no one would be a simple fool. For someone as simple and honest as Tang Feng, if you treated him as an honest person, you would not even know how you died. Fong Ping did not give any promises. He only smiled and said, You're too kind. Hi, Grandmaster Su. I still don't know anything yet. Su Haoran did not say anything else. It was fine if Fong Ping did not take care of the others. The key was that this guy did not enter the restricted zone and set them up. In the second round, because the representatives could represent the contestants to surrender, the speed of the battles was faster. The death and injury rate was indeed greatly reduced. Unless it was an evenly matched opponent, both parties would fight passionately. Sometimes, when the battle was really intense, the life and death of martial artists would be decided quickly. Sometimes, a rank 9 might not be able to determine the outcome of the battle in that instant. In this way, when the second round was over, only one person would die. The 2 rank 7 grandmasters were still silent like statues. They did not challenge anyone. No one knew what they were thinking. At this moment, Li Daong walked over and said softly, "Don't use up all your challenge chances. After 3 chances, those 2 may challenge you. Du Hong, you must at least leave 1 challenge chance. Don't challenge again in the next round. The same goes for the others. Unless someone is sure to be eliminated and there are enough people, you must ensure that you get a place." As soon as these words came out, Fong Ping suddenly came to a realization. Yes, he almost forgot about this. If he really used up all 3 chances and was challenged and lost, then he would lose his chance. Fong Ping's 3 chances to be challenged had already been used up. However, this guy had arrogantly announced that grandmasters would challenge him. Even if he used up all his chances, he would still accept it. If he used up all 3 chances and was challenged and lost, then he would lose his place. Although the rules of the competition were simple, they contained a lot of information. Some strategic deployments even included the problem of a martial artist's patience. If you could not last until the end and could not help but want to take advantage of others, then you might end up being taken advantage of by others. Very soon, it was Jiang Chao's turn to fight. Up until now, this fellow had never experienced a single battle. No one challenged him. Before this, he did not have the chance to challenge anyone either. Now it was his turn. Jiang Chao looked at the few middle stage, rank 6 martial artists for a long time. Finally, he looked at Su Zissou and said softly, "Zissou, why don't we spar? Just fight casually. Why don't you admit defeat?" Su Zissou was about to explode. This damn fatty was so shameless. How could he say something like that? Jiang Chao did not care about this. He said in a low voice, "The other middle stage rank 6 are all outsiders. If they have some trump card and kill me in 1 move, then who am I supposed to reason with? Don't you think this makes sense? Zissou, let's fight. How about we decide the winner with rock, paper, scissors?" Su Haoran's expression was dark. He said coldly, "Jiang Chao." Jiang Chao pursed his lips. Suddenly, he looked at Li Yiming in the front row and grinned. "Brother Yiming, that ultimate inner armor of yours, can you lend it to me for self-defense?" Li Yiming gave him a look, slightly displeased. However, after some thought, he still took off his leather armor and threw it at him. He said angrily, "Don't lose it." Of course. Jiang Chao was all smiles. He looked at Fong Ping and chuckled. "Fong Ping, can you lend me Rosai's door-plank sword?" Fong Ping frowned. "You're using this? This is a divine weapon. If you lose it, I'll compensate you." Fong Ping glanced at him. He was slightly helpless, but he still nodded. After that, Fatty Jiang began to borrow things from everywhere. After a while, Jiang Chao was fully armed. He was wearing a peerless inner armor, an accessory that could block spiritual energy, a huge door-sized greatsword, and a full body armor that he had previously wrapped around himself, including a helmet. Everyone was looking at him. Jiang Chao was still unfazed. He put on the damaged armor that Fong Ping had used to kill the mentality-vitality fusion opponent. Only then did Jiang Chao go up the stage. After going up the stage, he was not in a hurry to choose his opponent. Instead, he stabbed the giant door-plank sword into the ground. However, he realized that he could not stab it no matter what. This troubled Jiang Chao. He did not have the ability to stab the sword into the solidified arena. Fang Ping watched for a while. The corner of his mouth twitched. He said in a low voice, Is he going to use the sword as a door plank to block people? Probably. I guess. Wang Jinyang was powerless. He did not want to say anything more. Did this guy have to do this? Jiang Chao dawdled for a while. When Li Daong was getting impatient, he suddenly pointed at one of the people in Heaven of Gods and said loudly, You, come up here. Su Zissou could not help but curse in a low voice. Shameless! He prepared for a long time. I thought he would at least challenge someone of the same rank. In the end, he chose an injured middle stage rank, 6. There were a total of 5 middle stage rank SAXS in each country. These 5 people had fought before. Among them, the one from Heaven of Gods had fought twice and had some injuries. In the end, Jiang Chao, an upper stage rank 6 with extreme defense, went up to pick and choose, and chose this person. I should have guessed it. Fang Ping shook his head, helplessly. This fatty did not look like a martial artist at all. He did not know how he cultivated to upper stage rank 6. There was no justice in this world. As for the other descendants of the paragons, no matter how afraid they were of death, they would not show it too obviously. As for the one in the 10,000 pagodas world who pretended to be dead, that was also because he felt that there was a gap in strength. Jiang Chao was a little higher than the other party, yet he was actually so afraid of death. Li Daong's face was a little dark. The person from Heaven of Gods was also dumbfounded. After this fatty did this, he even thought that he had achieved mentality-vitality fusion. Otherwise, did he need to do this? Speechlessness was one thing, but the battle still had to be fought. When this person went up the stage, everyone witnessed an exciting battle. Jiang Chao did not fight the other party at all. He ran from the beginning to the end, and only when he was free would he turn around and slap the other party with his greatsword. He was fighting with the intention of exhausting the other party. After all, the other party could not kill him in one move. It would be difficult for him to even penetrate his defense. He was also a little higher than the other party, and his vitality was stronger. If he dragged on until the end and ran out of vitality, he could only rely on his physique to fight. The other party would not be able to penetrate his layers of armor. This battle made Fang Ping doze off while watching. The people from all sides who were watching began to chat. Everyone had almost forgotten that there were still 2 people competing on the stage. Fang Ping even had the heart to take out his poker cards and play cards with old Wang and the rest. Fang Ping dozed off, but Wang Jinyang said in a low voice, This fatty, do you think he's pretending to be weak to eat the tiger? Him. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. It's hard to say, but the degree of shamelessness, he has some of the demeanor of a powerhouse. Powerhouses, the stronger they are, the more shameless they are. Beside him, the expressions of Minister Wang and the rest changed. What the hell was this? Could we be as shameless as this fatty? Could an upper stage rank 6 fight a middle stage rank 6 to this extent? The female vice-chancellor of FMS glanced at Su Haoran, who had an ugly expression on his face, and teased, He's really amazing, obtaining victory at the lowest cost. He's a good seedling. Su Haoran let out a soft snort. Good seedling. I'll give you a good seedling. Do you want it? The 2 of them fought for more than an hour. They fought until the sun was about to set. Jiang Chao finally won. He won. He had worn down his opponent. He had worn down a middle stage rank 6 martial artist until he was panting heavily. He really did not want to fight anymore. so he took the initiative to admit defeat. This was the first contestant in the entire arena who took the initiative to shout, "Admit defeat." He did not want to fight anymore. No, he did not want to run anymore. He really could not run anymore. He could not chase anymore. That damn fatty was running with all his might. He was too tired from chasing, and he still had to guard against others hitting him with a greatsword. He really could not take it anymore. At this point, almost no one wanted the two of them to continue. As soon as he admitted defeat, Li Daong accepted it immediately and said quickly, "Next." As for Jiang Chao, he walked back valiantly, his head full of sweat. "I won. It wasn't easy. I should be able to get a spot, right?" When he said that, everyone was speechless. No one spoke. The challenges of the upper stage martial artists gradually ended. At this moment, there was a slight commotion in the crowd. The middle stage rank, 6, had begun, and the right to challenge had once again fallen to Fang Ping. This time, who would he challenge? Fang Ping glanced at Carmen, then at Rosas and the others. After a while, he smiled and said, "I want to keep the third chance. So, the second challenge might be my last." When he said that, Carmen's expression changed slightly. Fang Ping had his eyes on him since a long time ago, just when Carmen thought that Fang Ping was going to challenge him. Fang Ping suddenly looked at Buchuoi, whose long hair touched the ground, and said, "Fake monk, why don't we have a match?" When he said that, many people were a little surprised. Du Hong and the others also looked at Fang Ping. They had agreed before that this round would be against Heaven of Gods and Totem City. Fang Ping said in an inaudible voice, "The ancient Buddha's sacred land is too strong. They also have a grandmaster. We must weaken their strength. The Andes are not that scary." The ancient Buddha's sacred land was silent. Now, the remaining people were second only to Sino Nation. They had the most people and suffered the least losses. As for the Andes, after the previous challengers, there were already people who were heavily injured. There would not be many who qualified. When they heard him say that, everyone realized that the ancient Buddha's sacred land seemed to be too strong. No matter how strong the accessory was, it was impossible for it to completely block the self-destruction of a materialized object. Under everyone's dumbfounded expressions, Fang Ping self-destructed 7 to 8 times in a row. Buchuoi finally could not take it anymore. The golden light on his body began to dissipate, and blood flowed out of his 7 orifices. Even if he wore an accessory, it could not stop Fang Ping's attack. Just as Fang Ping was about to step forward and end the other party with a slash, the ancient Buddha's sacred land's rank 9 powerhouse roared, "Admit defeat." Damn it! Fang Ping was furious. The second round's rules had changed. To him, he was extremely unhappy. It was not as satisfying as the first round. As long as the other party could still fight, then they could continue. However, things had come to this. Everyone was staring at him. Fang Ping glared at Buchuoi fiercely. He wiped his neck, his face ferocious. Buchuoi's heart palpitated slightly. A thug had really appeared on Sino Nation's side. Chapter 5, 55. Fang Ping's arrogance and despotism were evident in his words. Just as he was about to slit his throat in the ancient Buddha's sacred land, a bearded monk in the crowd said slowly, "General Fang, China has always been humble. Why do you have to be so aggressive?" Fang Ping turned his head and looked at him. Suddenly, he laughed and said, "There's nothing we can do. We're weak. Without a rank, 7 holding the fort, the pressure is too great. Big Beard, I'm just bluffing to scare people. But if Big Beard doesn't provoke me, then I won't provoke you either. Don't you think so?" The bearded monk looked at him for a moment and said again, "General Fang, this time it's a competition for the slots." "Understood." Fong Ping nodded. He looked at a martial artist whose face was covered in a black robe on the Andes side, and smiled. Brother, what do you think? Everyone looked toward the Andes, and some of them were surprised. As soon as the bearded man spoke, they knew that he was a grandmaster. Of course, foreigners called them God State Masters. But to everyone's surprise, the second one was from the Andes Mountains. Just as Fong Ping was asking the question, the black-robed martial artist said, General Fong doesn't have the right to question me. A woman. Fong Ping's face was full of surprise. He did not care about what she meant. Instead, he asked in surprise, so flat. I can't tell. I thought it was a guy. Cough, cough, cough. Now, even Li Daong couldn't stand this guy. How could you say that? In any case, he was a rank 7 martial artist. Why did you care if he was a man or a woman? But come to think of it, it was really flat. Thinking of this, Li Daong suddenly cursed in his heart. What am I thinking? Is that something I should be thinking about? This was the World Youth Martial Arts Tournament. How could he have such thoughts on such a serious occasion? Li Daong gave Fong Ping an unfriendly look. If this kid spouted any more nonsense, he would find a chance to kick him to death. These foreigners, who were fluent in Mandarin, could understand Fong Ping's words. The black-robed woman seemed a little angry and lightly rebuked. Fong, provoking the strong, there is a price to pay. Amused, Fong Ping said, I'm not provoking you. I'm just asking to see what you mean. If you don't provoke Cathay, I won't make things difficult for you. But, Fong Ping suddenly said thoughtfully, but then again, early stage rank 7 should be just SOSO, right? It's not like I've never killed a rank 7 before. Maybe I can kill 2 more for fun? I'll say it again, I've used up all my chances of being challenged. You two are welcome to challenge me. I won't refuse, so it should be possible. Or perhaps he could just treat it as a sparring session outside the arena. You still have 1 more chance to initiate a challenge. I'll leave it at this. Whichever of you challenges the Cathayan martial artist first, I'll definitely challenge you. Kill a rank 7. You're not allowed to surrender. Let's play to the end and see what happens. Everyone fell silent. The black-robed woman did not speak. The bearded monk murmured softly and did not speak either. A rank 6 threatening a rank 7. Not to mention that they had never seen it before, but this time everyone had really learned something new. Arrogant, incomparably arrogant. It was a clear warning to the two that he would challenge whoever made a move against the Chinese martial artists. Where did this guy get his confidence from? Could he really fight a rank 7? Fong Ping sneered and returned to the Sino Nation camp directly. As soon as he returned, Su Haoran frowned slightly and said, Fong Ping, overconfidence isn't a good thing. Challenging 2 rank 7s isn't a good thing either. The 2 of them only have 3 chances to challenge. One of them was useless. If they attack us, 6 chances, they might cripple 6 people. Even if they voluntarily admitted defeat, many of them did not have many chances left. When they endured until the end, everyone would be forced to use up their chances to initiate a challenge and be challenged by the other party. That would mean that they would be eliminated. Fong Ping laughed. These 2 fellows are hiding and not moving. Only by making it clear will they become the target of public criticism. As for challenging us, I've said it before. When the time comes, I'll challenge them. Early stage rank 7. They've just entered rank 7. Their mentality is about the same as mine. The only thing that's stronger than me is the outburst of celestiality. Early stage rank 7 might not be able to kill me instantly. If they can't kill me in 1 move, I'll self-detonate their mentality 30 to 50 times. Can these 2 fellows really fight me to the end? As soon as he said that, Su Haoran's expression changed slightly. Jiang Chao could not help but say, Fong Ping, your mentality is too insane. Can you really self-detonate so many times? Fong Ping chuckled. I'm just joking. 7 to 8 times is the limit. I just fought Butoya. I can't hold on anymore. As he spoke, a small city suddenly appeared in front of Fong Ping. The small city collapsed in an instant. Fong Ping's mouth was bleeding. He looked at the martial artists around him, his face full of fear. Don't let them see this. Enough. Minister Wang growled. You're almost done. This bastard Fong Ping came to participate in the competition. His head was as big as a cow's. Do you think others will still believe you? Also, are you King crazy? Destroying materialized objects for fun when you have nothing better to do. Do you know how much we want to kill you? All the powerhouses' faces were as black as the bottom of a pot. Again. How many trump cards did this guy have? He was so savage that he would collapse his mentality and materialize objects for fun when he had nothing better to do. Forget about rank 6. Even a rank 9 could not afford to play with him. It would be best if he played himself to death one day. This bastard really made me want to vomit blood. After Fong Ping, a few middle stage rank 6 martial artists fought a few more rounds. Old Wang and Ironhead did not participate in this round. This time, Yao Chungjun did not challenge a peak rank 6 martial artist. Instead, he chose an upper stage rank 6 from the Hall of Gods. Upper stage rank 6. Even the Sanjiao Gate had not been completely sealed. Relatively speaking, his ability was not considered strong. Yao Chungjun's mentality materialized. Against a martial artist like this, it was almost a crushing defeat. Under the mentality outburst, the other party almost had no ability to resist. It was only because the rank 9 from the Hall of Gods admitted defeat that he was not beaten to death. The second round ended very quickly. In this round, someone had already used up all 3 chances to be challenged. Some people lost 3 out of 3 battles. Faced with such a situation, they could only take the initiative to challenge and win. Otherwise, they could only be eliminated. In the third round, even mentality-vitality fusion did not move. The 2 Grandmaster powerhouses also did not move. If they did not move, the others also dared not challenge them. Some of the peak rank 6 martial artists chose to challenge the weak, and some also gave up the opportunity to challenge. However, Jiang Chao, this fellow, was still targeted. He fought too wretchedly, which made many people unhappy. An upper stage rank 6 from the ancient Buddhist sacred land had targeted him. In the end, although Jiang Chao was still fully armed this time, he was very arrogant. Just as the other party was about to attack, Jiang Chao shouted, "That's enough. You are. Who are you again? Which ancient Buddha's disciple are you from? My old ancestor's defense zone is not far from your house. If you hit me, be careful that my old ancestor will take revenge." What are you looking at? My old ancestor is a combat king. He can fight 1 against 3. I won 1 round. That's enough. You still want to challenge me? Do you think I'm easy to bully? My Jiang family only has 2 descendants in my generation. My pervert doesn't find a wife to marry and have children. It's obvious that he wants to end the family line. If you kill me, the Jiang family's bloodline will end. Can you bear this responsibility? Hurry up and admit defeat. Otherwise, I won't defend. If you kill me, so be it. Think about the consequences. You ancient Buddhas say that you monks have a lot of descendants. It's fine if a few die, but if I die, your whole family won't even be enough to be buried with me. Jiang Chao was really arrogant. He scolded and said that he had challenged once, and that it was fine as long as he won. This fellow still dared to challenge him. It was obvious that he was not giving his old ancestor face. The ancient Buddha Sacred Lands catacombs entrance was adjacent to Sino Nation. They met frequently. If he was angered, he would look for the old ancestor to take revenge. At this moment, the whole place was frighteningly quiet. The upper stage rank, 6 martial artist who challenged him changed his expression again and again. Fight or not? This fellow's kill me if you have the guts attitude was too annoying. Fong Ping was also stunned. He could not help but ask, is his old ancestor really that strong? Su Haoran was helpless. He did not want to speak. Minister Wang was also a little embarrassed. This fellow was embarrassing Sino Nation's reputation. However, he still explained in a low voice, among the human paragons, combat kings are one of the strongest paragons. There were about 50 peerless human powerhouses. The war king was at least in the top 5. I'm not sure about the specifics, but I've heard that in the early years, the catacombs apex and the humans apex had exchanged blows. The war king had once fought against 2 people alone. On the demon plant clan's side, a peerless elite and a peerless demon plant attacked him together. In the end, those 2 were the ones who retreated. You have to know that the impasse realm is the kind where one reaches the end of the road. Logically speaking, it's all about the same. However, the war king was able to gain the upper hand even when fighting 1 against 2. If he were to fight 1-on-1, I'm afraid that he really does have the strength to kill an absolute pinnacle expert. Can't Commander Li do the same? Who's stronger, him or Warlord? Minister Wang was not in a position to say this. Su Haoran thought for a while and said, Commander Li is known as the Netherworld King and is one of the strongest human beings. On China's side, the Battle King, Hades King, and Martial King were at the pinnacle. They were all extremely powerful. However, the publicly acknowledged number 1 was actually the ancestor of the Li family, Heavenly King Subduing. You have to know that Supreme Kings have single titles, but the Li family's elder ancestor has 2 titles. At this point, Su Haoran suddenly realized that he had said too much. At this time, Li Yiming continued, the Supreme Kings all have single titles. The elder ancestor used to have 1, 2, but it's said that the elder ancestor has already taken the second path. Therefore, the original title was added with a word, becoming a double title. It's not that the elder ancestor is weak, but it means that the elder ancestor has really taken the second path. Don't be fooled by foreigners' words like war god and sun god. But that doesn't mean anything. Only on China's side, among the absolute pinnacles, the elder ancestor is the only one with 2 titles. In other words, he doesn't care about worldly affairs and doesn't care about rankings. Otherwise, among the absolute pinnacles, the elder ancestor should be the first. Seeing that Li Yiming had spoken, Su Haoran smiled and said, How should I say this? The other holy lands might not have no powerhouses who can match him, but everyone hasn't fought. The Heavenly King, Subduing, won't claim to be the first. At that level, he no longer cares about these things. Fong Ping said with a look of shock. According to this, even the Battle King might have the strength to kill the absolute pinnacles. Then, isn't the Heavenly King Subduing? That's right. When it was said that the Battle King might be able to kill the absolute pinnacles, Su Haoran was actually uncertain. Now, however, he said seriously, the Heavenly King Subduing has killed the absolute pinnacles before, but not from the restricted area. It's from the Forbidden Sea. The absolute pinnacle inner armor that Yiming is wearing belongs to that monster. Fong Ping was stunned. He could not help but glance at Li Fei. Li Fei felt a little uncomfortable being stared at. Li Yiming said casually, Why are you looking at him? The Heavenly King Subduing is also my elder ancestor. My grandfather is also an absolute pinnacle. If there's anything good, of course they'll give it to me first. When I don't need it anymore, Then I'll give it to them. They're martial artists, after all. Strength speaks for itself. When I go to Star City's Li family to get something, they can't refuse to give it to me. Fong Ping was speechless. Li Fei's face was flushed red. He was slightly annoyed. Damn, how dare a robber show off here? This fellow Li Yiming, relying on his grandfather being an absolute pinnacle, often went to Star City and bullied others. Many people in Star City had been beaten up by him. This fellow could enter the Li family's storeroom whenever he wanted, unlike Li Fei. He really had no right to enter. If he dared to enter, the Li family would hammer him to death. At this moment, Fong Ping felt that he had learned a lot of gossip. Li, Chun, Shun, Jiang, Su, Wei, Zhang, Lu, Jiang. Other than the Yang family, there were 12 other families in Star City. Currently, it seemed that the Li family was the strongest. Not only did they have 2 absolute pinnacles, but they were also the top powerhouses among the absolute pinnacles. This was not easy. The Jiang family should not be weak either. Did they not see how arrogant Fatty Jiang was? As for the other families, Fong Ping roughly judged that the Su family should not be too bad. It was hard to say for the other families. In fact, it could be seen from the strength of the descendants who participated in the competition that Su Zissou was the weakest. The weakest did not mean that the family was weak. It might just be that the Su family did not have an advantage among martial artists below 30 years old. However, if they were really weak, there were only 9 people from Star City this time. Other than the Chun and Shun families from the military department, there were still 2 families in Star City who did not get a spot. The fact that Su Zissou, who was a middle stage rank 6, could participate in the competition meant that her family's ancestor was powerful. In fact, it could be seen from the accessories of the mentality isolation restriction. Among so many people, only Jiang Chao, Su Zissou, and Li Fei had it. Li Yiming, it was hard to say, but he might have it too. The other one is old Zhang. His strength is not bad. I thought he might not be that strong, since he broke through later. Now that he was mentioned together with Warlord and Netherworld King, he must be extremely strong too. Fong Ping judged in his heart. The Li family's elder ancestor was the strongest among the absolute pinnacles. Zhang Tao and the others were probably not far behind. The rest should be about the same. After living for hundreds and thousands of years, I can't believe I'm not as strong as the 2 newbies. The other family's elder ancestors are a disgrace to the absolute pinnacles. Naturally, he could only say this in his heart. If he really said it out loud, Su Haoran and the others could really hammer him to death. No one could stop them. In the past, Fong Ping had always looked down on Wu Chuan for embarrassing the rank 9. Now, even the absolute pinnacles were starting to criticize him. Fong Ping suddenly felt a little wary. Was he too arrogant? Not really. Fong Ping felt that he was not arrogant. It was just that after seeing these absolute pinnacles, he felt that these pinnacles were also people. He did not have that mysterious feeling from before. It's all old Zhang's fault. Shameless, tricking me, making me think that even the absolute pinnacles are like him. The other absolute pinnacles must be like Commander Li, cold and domineering, unusually mysterious. That's what the absolute pinnacles should be like. Fong Ping criticized in his heart again. Old Zhang had embarrassed the absolute pinnacles. A powerhouse should act like a powerhouse. While he was still thinking, on the stage, the rank 6 who challenged the fatty could not take it anymore. He said sullenly, "I admit defeat." He did not want to fight anymore. If he knew this would happen, he would not have challenged him. One moment, he asked his elder ancestor to take revenge. The next moment, he asked his perverted big brother to take revenge. The next moment, he even dragged his grandfather out. If this went on, who else could he drag to take revenge? I didn't even hit you. You're a martial artist of the same rank. Aren't you embarrassed to do this? Jiang Chao was not ashamed. Instead, he felt proud. When he walked back, he said casually, "This competition is all about the background. Warlords' descendants can't even go to the restricted area. What's the point of playing? Li Yiming, stop fighting too. What are you fighting for? Just get a spot. Let's see who dares not to give it to you." Li Yiming looked at him coldly and said in disdain, "Don't stand with me. You don't know me, and I don't know you." Jiang Chao curled his lips. Was he stupid? If he could get a spot directly, why did he still fight? Did it not hurt to be injured? Jiang Chao, this spot was probably a done deal. He retreated without a fight. The others would probably not challenge him anymore. Even if someone's ancestor was as strong as Warlord, they might not be interested in fighting him. Some of the absolute pinnacle's descendants still cared about their reputation. They also wanted to prove themselves. Jiang Chao had no intention of proving himself at all. Fighting him was meaningless. Fong Ping, on the other hand, gave this fatty a deep look. Now, Fong Ping felt that this fatty was really not simple. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.